Good evening and welcome to episode 80 of the Sports Desk. I'm Splash, joined by Jack. He's over yonder. Josh is down below. How's it going,
I'm
fellas?
in your walls. You pointed to your walls.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm
You are
officially in
the
Splash's
wall.
walls, ladies and gents.
You are in the wall. Hey, we do have the same color walls, so maybe
I think it is actually, or it's close
like
enough.
if I punched a hole through the wall, that'd be pretty cool camera editing. If I like punched through the wall and then all of a sudden my hands on your screen.
We would have to learn like some serious like editing tricks for that one. But...
Yeah, both of us get a green screen. That would be lit. All right, how's it going, Josh?
Good, hot out, but surviving.
Amen to that.
That's kind of how it is everywhere right now. So
I feel it. I have the cactus representing. Josh was saying like it was 105 in Arizona, so I have the cactus representing today. So with that said, first off, I want to give a special shout out to everyone with the uSTADIUM family. 7 years ago today, July 20th, 2015, I joined the uSTADIUM app. I wanted some people to play fantasy football with, and 7 years later, here I am. 80 episodes of the Sports Desk, over 1,000 uploads on the YouTube in the last year and a half. The development of Splash as a persona, as a brand, all thanks to uSTADIUM, which is actually quite funny because I started as Mr. Splashman 19, but no one called me that. They would just call me Ryan, right? And it was like Ryan Potts and whatnot. And then like July rolls around, hey, everyone's gonna call me Splash for some reason. So there's that. So Mr. Resident Ravens fan here. Thank you for 7 years. Can't wait for July 20th, 2023, so we can celebrate the Ravens winning the World Series.
The Ravens winning the World Series.
Yeah, the Ravens win the World Series. They beat the Anaheim Ducks in a golden goal shootout. Definitely.
Perfect.
That's how that works, obviously. So
today actually also, by the way, marks another important milestone because not only is it 80 episodes of our show, which is huge, by the way, it's also 50 days until the NFL's back.
Yeah, 50 days until the Bills wallop the Rams for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I didn't know where we could fit this in the script. I want to talk about the Bills for a little bit because I think they are overrated. And I'm not saying they're trash. I'm not saying they suck. I'm not saying their players suck. But when you look at power rankings, and I feel like people just assume and just put them at one. And it kind of gets on my nerves. So I know, Jack, you're a Rams fan, so you probably think the Rams should be number one. That's fine. I'm not going to argue with that one way or the other. But I think people pretend the Bills, or they give the Bills too much credit almost. They say, hey, Buffalo, coin toss. They're going to be the best team. They're going to win the Super Bowl. Wait, what? Did you not see the first 60 minutes of that playoff game? Did you not see Kansas City drive up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down the field on the number one ranked defense? Maybe smart people in our audience will think, how did this Bills defense get to be number one overall? You probably don't know many of their players. Exactly. So I dove into the numbers. How many times did they play a team that had a rookie quarterback or backup? Take any guesses. 19 games. Take a guess.
11.
You're close. It's actually more than that.
Wow.
Is it 13?
Yeah, something like that. They, in 10 of their 12 wins, all by double digits, they played either a backup quarterback or a rookie quarterback. That's 10. They also played Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones a third time. So good old 12 games against quarterbacks that are either rookies or backups. Congratulations, you beat Taylor Heineke. Congratulations, you beat Davis Mills by 40. Congratulations, you beat Jacoby Brissett twice and injured Tua. So I don't think people realize how, I'm not going to say Mickey Mouse, how much needed to go right for the Bills to end up top in scoring offense and top in total defense. Like, people will be quick to say, oh, the Browns ended up better than they should be because they had that one Bears game. The Bills had a bunch of that Bears game, right? The Bears game being the one the Bears had +1 passing yard. It just felt like every week the Bills were playing one of the worst teams in the league, or playing a team with a quarterback with his head screwed on backwards. Like, this is a team that lost to Ben Roethlisberger and lost to Trevor Lawrence. Like, what are you doing? And, oh, congratulations, you beat Mac Jones twice. Congratulations, you beat Zach Wilson and co. twice. Congratulations, you beat like an injured Tua Tagovailoa and Jacoby Brissett. It's just good team, sure. Absolutely. I will entertain that conversation. Can they win the Super Bowl? Sure, absolutely. But I think people are just giving them this pass to being the number one team in the conference because Kansas City traded Tyreek Hill, which I don't agree with. I don't think that's the only difference between Kansas City and Buffalo. I think Kansas City has a better coach, has a better offensive line, has a better quarterback, and the defensive front, at least, I think can be more talented, better linebackers to me. I think Tremaine Edmonds is wildly overrated, and people assume he's like a top 5 linebacker because he came into the league when he was 19. And it's like, oh yeah, Edmonds, he's been around the block. He's made a couple Pro Bowls. He's not deserving of those Pro Bowls. And the safety pairing, I'm going to make a comparison that you're going to, I guess, appreciate, Jack. You know how I would say last year that Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are a top duo, but individually they weren't all that special, right?
Yep.
Which obviously is a little weird now because Kupp just had a breakout season of all proportions. But Hyde and Poyer are the exact same thing. I don't think if you split them up, they're going to be as good. Are they good? Yes. But do they play better as a duo? Yes, 100%. And this is a situation of, would I probably take, I don't know, Minka Fitzpatrick and Von Bell? Maybe. Would I take Marcus Williams and Adrian Amos? Yeah, I think I would. Would I take Derwin James and Kevin Byard? Absolutely. So I think just it's fundamentally overrated outside of Josh Allen. So that's my miniature rant to start the episode. The Bills are going to win the division. They're probably going to sweep the division. They're going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they should be overwhelming favorites or anything. Or I don't think Josh Allen should be overwhelming favorite to win MVP. Things like that.
They have pieces for sure, though. They have guys like Dawson Knox is on there. Gabriel Davis is on there. Stephon Diggs. I don't know why Diggs' name was slipping my mind for a second, but
like Diggs is great, and Diggs is a top 10 receiver, and he's the top 50 player in the NFL. That's fine, but Gabriel Davis has 1,000 receiving yards in 2 seasons. Dawson Knox has 1,000 receiving yards in 2 seasons. They aren't like special, like right now at least. They aren't. And I said this on a previous episode, but every team has 2 or 3 good wide receivers. It's an outlier that the Ravens only have 1 good one. It's an outlier that Atlanta only has a first-round pick and like Bryan Edwards, right? It's an outlier that Chicago or Green Bay, or Chicago is Mooney, but it's an outlier that they don't have multiple good receivers. You look around the AFC, and Miami has 2 guys that could be considered top 20. Kansas City, even though they just lost Tyreek Hill, they still have Juju, who's a pretty solid receiver. They still have Hardman. They still have MVS. They have
the
solid
Chargers too.
Yeah, the Chargers have 2 potentially top 20 receivers. And it's just everyone has, I think, 2 guys that can do that now. I don't think the Bills, I don't trust Gabriel Davis to be that dude, right? That he's not better than T. Higgins. I don't think he will be better than T. Higgins. I think Davis will take a step forward this year. That was one of our hot takes last week, that he was going to have 1,000 yards and more touchdowns than Diggs. But like, there's a gap, and it's just annoying and obnoxious how, oh, the Bills are one, the Bills are one, the Bills are one, the Bills are one, the Bills have the best roster, the Bills do this, the Bills have their ESPN actually triggered me this morning. They said that Bills had the best roster for the next 3 years without Allen. With Allen, sure, whatever. If you value quarterback that much and think the Chiefs stink, sure. But I look at that roster, and I don't like the running back core. The receiver core, I don't think is anything special compared to the rest of the league. Tight ends, whatever. Offensive line is middle of the pack. Defensive line, Von Miller, that's great. But like receivers, it feels like every team has at least 1 good pass rusher, if not 2. And yes, Von Miller is a top 10 pass rusher. That's fine. But you know how many other teams have top 10 pass rushers? A lot of teams, at least 9 of them. And I don't know. I think the linebackers are overrated. Tre'Davious White's coming off a torn ACL. Like, why does he get a pass for that? Like, if I told you, yeah, Marcus Peters is just going to return perfectly fine. He tore his ACL and actually has more recovery time than Trey White. But, oh, no, he's going to be washed. Then why doesn't Trey White get the same treatment, right? And they have a rookie corner. Imagine if I said, hey, Sauce Gardner is going to be an immediate top 10 corner, or immediate top 10 second corner. That's ridiculous. He hasn't played a down in the NFL. I like Sauce a lot more than I like Gary Elam. I had a 3rd-round grade on Elam. I don't have any shame in saying that. I watched the film at Florida. He was good, but I'm not saying, oh, yeah, 1st-round pick. I would have preferred to take Roger McCreary there. I will put myself out there. But, okay, that's enough of me on the Bills.
I'll just make one point, too. I know people said the Chiefs got worse. Like, the AFC as a whole got so much better. So there's more competition for the Bills. It's not going to be easy. The Chargers got better. The Raiders got better. Broncos got better. I mean, I think every team in the AFC got better, you could argue.
Yeah, even like a team like Tennessee, that's a team that, they lost Julio Jones, they traded AJ Brown. I think that's a team that around the edges, the pieces that you don't look at, they got better. They had little upgrades here and there. You know, they bring in a Kyle Phillips in the draft. It's gonna be a nice slot. They bring in Treylon Burks. He's gonna be a nice receiver. They bring in Robert Woods. He's gonna be at least a competent receiver. I'm not saying he's gonna be an all-pro. He doesn't have to be an all-pro. He just has to be better than Julio Jones was last year, and Julio Jones wasn't very good at football last year. They brought in Austin Hooper to replace their 2 tight ends they lost this past offseason. They have really talented players in the defense. I don't think Tennessee gets enough credit for just the number of dudes they have defensively. Kevin Byard's the best safety in the NFL right now. Christian Fulton had a really nice year last year. They have Caleb Farley, who's coming back from injury last year. Harold Landry's a pressure machine. Bud Dupree, he's kind of whatever. And Jeffrey Simmons is one of the best 60 players in the NFL, 70 players in the NFL. I don't know. He's up there. He's not Aaron Donald or Cam Hayward, but he's on that tier of if Cameron Hayward retired tomorrow, Jeffrey Simmons would be one of the picks I would have to join Aaron Donald on the All-Pro team. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So there's our AFC / Buffalo rant, whatever.
I guess that's a hot take. I mean, I said in the offseason that Buffalo's defense was overrated and that they had Mickey Mouse points in yards allowed. I'll say that. They had Mickey Mouse points left.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have some
hot takes? Yeah.
Do we?
Let's jump in. Let's do it.
Frankie absolutely annihilated me today. Apparently. He said that Gabriel Davis would not have a good season and that you should not have drafted him in fantasy, which was funny. I had Davis as my breakout candidate for Buffalo. Kind of I need to have one for every team, of course. But either way, let's roll through some of these hot takes. It's going to be a football-oriented show because I've spammed baseball and basketball takes. Oops. Fantasy Pro says, Antonio Gibson will not finish in the top 15 running backs PPR style.
I think he will. I mean, I disagreed with the take, so.
Okay. Jack?
I think he will. I mean, it's just, if he can stay healthy, I just don't think you can name 15 running backs who are going to be better than him, production-wise.
Yeah, I agree. Jack?
Agree. Like you said, if he can stay healthy, there's not really
the thing is, there's just so many running backs I think will get injured too and miss weeks where it's even if this is a week or two, I'm not.
It feels to me like running backs always tend to get hurt more than any other position. I don't know if there's a stat that proves that.
Yeah, I need to see data on that.
Yeah,
I feel like conventional wisdom says yes, but
I think it's the big name running backs too, and that's why you just notice it more.
Yeah, like CMC, he was hurt for an entire year.
Derrick Henry.
Todd Gurley was dealing with it for a while.
Lev Bell missed a bunch of time.
Well, I guess Kamara had suspension stuff too, but still.
Try anything about that with the take too. That takes Kamara out of probably the top 15.
That's true. And then you have guys either returning from injury, like Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins. You have rookies that you don't know what the production is going to be. Could Breece Hall be a top 15 running back? Sure. Do I trust the Jets to do that? No.
This is the Jets.
You also have whatever the heck San Francisco does, so. Ooh. Chris coming in with the spiciness. He says, Brian Robinson there to snake goal line touches and McKissick there for third down work. He would need a few things to fall into place for him to finish high. Not too much of a hot take. Okay. There's our fantasy expert. Chris and Stefan are coming back with the heat. They will start their shows, I believe, next August 20th. It's in the coming weeks. They've been doing fantasy spaces on the uSTADIUM fantasy Twitter account. So make sure you drop them a follow. They do awesome work. Chris just does amazing stuff all season. I love producing their show every Sunday morning. Do not love waking up that early, but I do enjoy producing their show. Oh man, it was the worst. I tell you about this, Jack. There was one day they had one of their Sunday morning shows, and the fire alarm went off at 6 a.m. in my dorm.
I think you did tell me that, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to be up at 8 a.m. or 7:30 to produce their show at 8 for an 11 a.m. Eastern show. And I was living in Arizona. And the alarm goes off at 6 a.m. And I'm just like, really. And then I get back in bed. I'm about to go back to sleep and sleep for another hour. And then 6:30. Ah! That was the worst 45 minutes of college as far as I'm concerned. Screw fire alarms. I know they keep us safe, but screw fire alarms at 6 a.m.
I'm glad we didn't get a smoke alarm in my house or something like that going when we were doing our 24-hour stream, because that would have been miserable.
Oh. See, when I think of like a smoke alarm, all I can picture is the scene of The Incredibles that the fire alarm goes off and there's like industrial sprinklers everywhere in the house, and then at the end, like Mr. Incredible is just has the hair dryer just trying to dry all the books. It's like, why would a house like that have industrial water showers?
What that never exists in like a house, like a residential house.
Exactly.
They don't have
we have a fire alarm like right outside my door, which is apparently where you're supposed to have them, right outside of bedrooms, which is fine. That's cool.
I have a smoke detector in my bedroom. I think every room should have one though.
Apparently, there's a good kind of smoke detector and a bad kind. I fell asleep during the video, but I was watching this fascinating video about the history of smoke detectors.
Okay, like, we're getting off on a tangent here. I feel like.
They're slightly radioactive. And speaking of radioactive, Mr. Fella Noah in the chat says Joe Mixon finishes with more fantasy points than Najee Harris in 2022.
This was a spicy debate because I saw this going in the chat. Like, I know Stefan was arguing like that, like Mixon or Najee is better.
Mm-hmm.
See, I agree with Noah. I think his points were great too. Like Najee Harris, he was getting a lot of dump downs from Big Ben, who's gone. Who knows what that offense is going to look like?
Fair.
Wasn't really efficient running the ball. And I just think Joe Mixon has those big plays, and he gets a lot of touchdowns.
I'm kind of in between. I could see it go one way or the other. I certainly wouldn't make a take on it because this is one that, I don't know, Mixon gets injured for a week, or you guys know Zach Taylor loves to put Samaje Perine on the field on third downs because Joe Mixon can't pass protect. I think it might be more of an opportunity thing. And while I agree with Noah that the efficiency is not there, for fantasy purposes, I don't think it matters that the efficiency is not there. At least if he's 3.9 yards per carry, that's different from, I don't know, Eddie George territory, like 3.4 yards a carry. That is bordering on, you can't play that. That's bad for football reasons. But I think Pittsburgh is going to play, like, as much as you can say, oh, well, they're not going to throw the ball as much because they don't have Ben. Well, guess what? They're going to run the ball a lot with Najee. And I think that could be, even if he isn't averaging 5 yards a carry, like a certain other running back in the AFC North, other running backs, several of them average many yards per carry. I think just the volume he's going to get, and Mixon had a lot of volume last year. I don't know where that volume is going to tick. Is it going to tick up? Is it going to tick down because Burrow gets more comfortable in the offense and he's a year removed from the ACL injury? Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. That could be an interesting dynamic. Yeah. There you go, Chris. Watching Super Bowl 56.
Yeah.
Run on the field, third
exactly.
and one to win the game. Yeah, exactly. Joe Mixon can't pass protect, and I don't think Zach Taylor trusts him to pass protect, which is weird because Joe Mixon's a very talented back. So I don't think I feel too strongly one way or the other. I could see it blow up in his face, in Noah's face, if Najee if he leads the NFL in rushes, right? And I think Pittsburgh, listen, I know Pittsburgh is going to Pittsburgh their way to a lot of wins. That means they're going to score a lot of points. That means they're going to score touchdowns. When you think, they're probably going to score a field. No, they're going to score a touchdown because Pittsburgh just does Pittsburgh things. They're going to win 9 games again. They're going to annoy me again, like they've been doing for the last 2 decades. So Pittsburgh is going to outperform your expectations. Just be aware. They will, again, for like the 18th year in a row. They will. And I think Najee could be one of the guys that there's a slight uptick in yards per attempt, second year in the NFL. They're bringing in James Daniels from Chicago. You get another year of Dan Moore. You get another year of Kevin Dotson. You get another year of their center, Kendrick Green, that I did like a lot out of Illinois. So I don't know. It could blow up in your face. I'm just going to put it that way. Mixon did have a ton of touchdowns last year. If there's any touchdown regression there, he's going to fall down. If there's any touchdown progression from Najee because he's carrying the ball so much. So I would lean no, but I don't think I would join that take.
I was tempted to kind of make a take this year saying that the Steelers would end up with a losing record for the first time under Mike Tomlin, but I feel like that's not going to happen just because, like you said, they're going to Pittsburgh their way into so many wins. Like, they're going to outperform.
They have won 4 consecutive one-possession games against the Ravens. That's not skill. That's not skill. That is Pittsburgh being Pittsburgh. They play up to competition, unless it's New England, and they play down to competition. That means when they stink, when they have a bad roster, the Steelers do not have a top 10 roster, probably don't even have a top 15 roster. But what they will do is they're going to screw with you. They're going to beat the Ravens once. They're going to beat the Bengals kind of murdered them last year. They're going to win these stupid games. Remember, they beat the Bills week 1 last year. And it's just so and it's annoying. And I desperately wish they would go like 3-14 and all the Steelers fans would shut up for a year. They're going, 6 rings, Big Ben owns your franchise. It's so annoying, and it gets on my nerves every year. And I say they're going to go 9-8. They're going to win 9 games. And then Steelers fans are like, of course we are. And other fans are like, you're a Steelers fan. No, I'm not, you absolute moron. I just know how these things work. I just know these Steelers are going to win enough games to finish above 500. They did it last year. Guess what? I knew it was going to happen. I picked them to win 9 games. I picked them to make the playoffs in some of my brackets. And it happened this year that 9-7-1 made the playoffs. Whoop-de-doo. I picked them to win 11 or 12 games the year before. Guess what happened? They did. And they won 8 games without Big Ben. They started 8-3 with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges. And I don't think you could possibly come up with 2 worse quarterbacks that do not involve the Jets.
See, I don't think Mitch Trubisky's that bad of a quarterback. I mean, he's 1 kick away from winning a playoff game against the Eagles. Made the playoffs twice in his career. I think he's about a little above average quarterback. So I think, at least from Big Ben, he's a giant improvement.
I have mixed feelings about that.
I think there's kind of a debate that
hate on Matt Nagy. We say Matt Nagy's a terrible coach. And Mitch Trubisky made the playoffs twice with Matt Nagy as his coach. Doesn't that say something?
Okay. In fairness, one of those was 8-8. Okay, I get what you're saying, but I think the Ben to Trubisky transition is going to be a little bit rocky. Here's the thing. Ben did stink last year. But in the fourth quarter, Ben Roethlisberger turned into Jesus. If you look at the Steelers games, they had like 2 or 3 wins that they just, were the better team the entire game. They had so many games that it was like a 3-point game or tied in the fourth quarter, and Big Ben just throws one up to Chase Claypool or Deante Johnson. They catch it because, remember, it's Pittsburgh, and they win those games. They beat Baltimore on the last possession twice. They beat them on a field goal in overtime, and they had the game that the Lamar failed 2-point conversion game. Well, why did that happen? Because Ben Roethlisberger turned into Jesus for the fourth quarter. So I think that's one that I actually agree with what Frankie's saying, that Trubisky's not above average. I think Trubisky is, QB 26.
No, that's low. He's an average quarterback.
Okay. Do we want to do an impromptu Mitch Trubisky this or that? We can do that.
We could.
Yeah.
Also, Frankie, over 8.5. Okay,
right.
Let's do this or that on Mitch Trubisky.
We'll bring it up right now. This or that. Let's go.
Okay, this or that.
Sorry,
Mitch
Deante
Trubisky.
Johnson.
Okay, today.
Not prepared at all,
1.
by the way. So
yeah, week 1, Trevor Lawrence or Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky.
Okay, week 1, Davis Mills or Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky.
Wow. Week 1, Ryan Tannehill or Mitch Trubisky.
Ooh.
Stop it! No.
I'd go Tannehill there.
Oh my lord!
I don't think Ryan Tannehill's a good quarterback.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Trubisky or Tua Tagovailoa?
Mitch Trubisky.
Jesus.
Tua.
You'd rather have Tua than what is like?
I think I'd have Tua. I feel like there's more. Tua hasn't hit his ceiling yet.
Okay, Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett? Week 1.
Week 1, Mitch Trubisky. I think Kenny Pickett will have a better career, but I'd rather Mitch Trubisky right now.
I do agree with Frankie that I think Lawrence is going to be pretty good this season.
Just rule the Jags.
But you said week 1, we have to take what they've done.
I will say the Jaguars will be better because they don't have Mr. Urban Meyer in their building anymore. So
no, I think Trevor Lawrence will be better. But like week 1, what does Trevor Lawrence show me that I would take him over Mitch Trubisky?
Okay, Mitch Trubisky or Mac Jones?
Mac Jones.
Mitch Trubisky.
Oh my lord, he's doing it. Mitch Trubisky or Jacoby Brissett?
Mitch Trubisky.
Yep.
I'd take
Mitch Trubisky or Zach Wilson?
I can't answer. That's unfair. That's unfair.
Are you like a closet Trubisky fan?
I think he is.
Like him. I think he gets disrespected on for no reason. I think like we see him as like a meme, so people disrespect him.
Oh man.
And he's also like he wasn't worthy of the second overall pick. And I think that's another thing too.
That's true. That is true.
If he's drafted late in the first round, like this is never a discussion like, oh, like is he a bust? Is he a bad quarterback? People are like, oh, he's a pretty good quarterback. But being the second pick and then trading up to get him and getting taken over Deshaun and Mahomes is like, oh, like we make him a meme for that reason.
Yeah, okay. I don't feel like you're wrong there. I feel like he gets kind of put at that like higher standard because he was taken second overall.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. Mariota or Mitch Trubisky?
Mitch Trubisky.
Trubisky.
Oh man, Jameis Winston or Mitch Trubisky?
Jameis Winston.
I'd rather have Jameis.
Okay, I was about to remove you from I was about to remove you on that one. Okay, Carson Wentz or Mitch Trubisky?
Trubisky.
Oh,
I'm a notorious Carson Wentz hater.
I can't.
I like Carson Wentz too, but like he couldn't beat the
Wentz could have a bounce back year, but I'm just like
I used him over Mitch Trubisky.
I can't do that. Oh my goodness. Okay, Kirk Cousins or Mitch Trubisky?
Kirk.
Okay, we're back to Jimmy Garoppolo, who we're going to talk about a little later.
Ooh.
Garoppolo or Mitch Trubisky?
Mitch Trubisky.
I think Garoppolo is a little more proven.
I would definitely I would take Garoppolo. But then again, we haven't seen much of Garoppolo outside of the Shanahan system.
It's also like in the big moments, Garoppolo's like done nothing to show me like he's gonna win again. Like I know Mitch lost the game. I know he lost the game, but in that playoff game against the Eagles,
he did have the big drive. He
got them down the field. I mean, it's not his fault the kicker missed. Cody Parkey missed a 35, 37-yard field. I can't blame Mitch Trubisky for that.
You're right. You are correct in saying that. Okay, Trey Lance or Mitch Trubisky, week 1.
Week 1, Mitch Trubisky.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts or Mitch Trubisky?
That's close. To me, like they're kind of the same.
Okay.
I would take Hurts, I think.
I would take Hurts because I think the team around him is better.
Okay. Geno Smith or Mitch Trubisky?
No.
Don't ask that.
Just go into the list.
Mitch
going down the list.
Okay, Baker Mayfield or Mitch Trubisky? Please tread lightly here.
That's tough. I think Mitch.
No.
Baker has to show me again he is Baker from 2 years ago.
Okay.
So if he shows me that, yes. If he's that Baker. If he's
but Baker has been Baker from 2 years ago. Trubisky hasn't had that level of play ever.
I swear, if you bring up his Pro Bowl selection, you're getting kicked.
I'm not gonna bring up his Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think the Pro Bowl is a joke. That's a discussion for another time.
Mac Jones, 2021 NFL Pro Bowler.
Yeah,
that's
2021 discussion for another
Pro Bowl
time.
was just
okay. Danny Dimes or Mitch Trubisky?
Mitch Trubisky.
Oh my goodness. Jared Goff or Mitch Trubisky?
Ooh,
Mitch Trubisky.
I'd take Goff.
Ooh,
it's close. Like,
I would take Goff.
Like,
remember the 2019 Sunday night game? That was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That was the
Mitch
Rams Bears
or Justin Fields.
Week 1.
Yeah,
Mitch Trubisky.
Okay.
I'd take Trubisky, but I think Fields in like a year or two.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I do not feel comfortable that you said agree or you would take Mitch over like 12 quarterbacks. I do not like that. And also, Frankie, this is called this or that. I give one player. It's been quarterbacks the last few weeks. I give a quarterback and then a competitor, and they say, would you take this or would you take that? Would you take the original option, in this case Mitch Trubisky, or would you take option B? Would you take the door of Derek Carr? I obviously you take Derek Carr over Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a group of obvious ones.
I agree, Jones gang. Mac Jones is trash.
Okay, I want to touch on this. I got some criticism for saying that Mac Jones. I trust Mac Jones to be a good quarterback more than Zach Wilson. And I get that we're a very heavy Jets-based platform, but I want to give some background there. So it's not that I think Zach sucks or will continue to suck, although I will say I got a stat for you. Since 2010, there are 294 quarterbacks that have thrown as many passes as Zach Wilson did last year. Zach Wilson ranked in the bottom 10 out of that group in passer rating. and Trevor Lawrence and Sam Darnold 2021 were right behind him. So.
See, I agree with what you're saying. I think Zach Wilson will be a better quarterback, but it was the same thing coming out of the draft. Zach Wilson's that guy who year one, he's not going to be. He needs time to develop.
Yeah, there's a lot
of teams want him to sit here. With Mac Jones, what you get is what you get, but what you get will be solid.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
But it'll be average. With Zach Wilson, you have the appeal of he could be a top 10 quarterback. He has those special things.
Yeah, I think so, and I think Mac he showed a lot more, maybe more than I thought he would actually, with some pocket movement and things like that, and I think it's almost programmed to say, oh, well, he's not that good. He's Belichick, or it's this, that, the other. I think Mac Jones legitimately was good last season. Was he Pro Bowl good? No, but he was the 14th best quarterback in the NFL or 15th best quarterback in the NFL. And I think that is something of a floor for him moving forward. And if he's in that 10 to 15 range, that is good, right? And Zach Wilson is more of that. I would not be surprised if we're having a conversation that he's top 5 next year or that he's bottom 5 next year. To me, that's the thing with Wilson, that he has the flashes. There's the Corey Davis throw against Tennessee. They beat the Titans. That's an impressive win. But there's also so much garbage on the film. And there's the Patriots game that, yes, I know 2 of the interceptions were tipped or something screwy happened. Receiver fell down. But there were also 2 really bad interceptions in that game. And I think there's a lot to sift through with Zach. And this is... How do you feel about doing a live film review of a Zach Wilson game?
Would we get banned?
The season? Yeah, sure.
Would we get banned for showing NFL footage? Or I think film might be good, actually.
Yeah, if we broke it up, we could. That'd be fun. Maybe that'd be a cool video topic each Monday. Do the Jets play a game other than Sundays? I don't think so.
They have a Thursday night game.
Okay, that's
of course the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
That's true.
See, my thing with Zach is I said it when he got injured. As long as it wasn't serious, the injury I think was the best thing that happened for him because it allowed him to sit on the bench and see someone else be in that offense and let him see. Also, puts you back to reality. I can only get away with so much on the field. I can't just run around. But it slows things down a little bit when you're on the sideline. Yeah, I think in the second half of the season you saw that jump where he was like, okay, I don't have to go for that home run play every time. I can check it down. And I think that's the one thing that he started doing the second half of the season that in the start of the year he didn't do.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And also Elijah Moore missed a chunk of the season. Corey Davis missed a lot of the season. Mekhi Becton missed the entire season?
Yeah, week 1.
It felt like Becton just did not play at all. There was someone ESPN Plus list said Mekhi Becton would be tackle 1 this year. I'm like, that was before last year. Then he plays 1 game. It's like, what are you doing, bro? So anyways, you guys are joining episode 80 of the Sports Desk. We just finished the This or That segment. We talked about Mitch Trubisky. We talked about Zach Wilson. So if you're interested in those 2 quarterbacks, maybe you're a Steelers fan, maybe you're a Jets fan, scroll back a few minutes and check that out.
I do have some NBA news real quick.
Ooh.
James Harden has agreed to a 2-year, $68.6 million deal with a player option.
Solid. There was someone on the uSTADIUM app that made a take that he would sign a 2-year deal, and I got it
I think too.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice move for Philly because you get him at a cheaper rate than you think, and I think it's a respect for James Harden for saying he wants to win, so he's going to take less money. So respect there.
See, as a Nets fan of me, though, I'll say this: James Harden maybe do something in the playoffs, and then your team will win.
Okay, good point. We do not need to bring up.
Players don't do that a lot, so I'll give him props for that.
Yeah, respect for that.
Respect for sure.
All right.
Should we talk about these Madden ratings?
Yes. Okay, Jack. I know you're mad at Cooper Kupp. I know you're mad that he's not a 99, but I don't want to defend Madden because I disagree with their ratings. But let me walk you through why he's not a 99. Madden, like the NFL Top 100, like other lists made by conglomerations, they are resistant to change. It's hard to just jump and make these massive movements because if you're Madden, for example, they update their rosters weekly anyways. So I don't think ratings right now are going to be that much different than they were in February or the last time they did a ratings update for Madden 22. So I don't think there's a huge jump in those ratings. Yes, there's going to be a jump from week 1 to week 1 of last year to week 1 of this year, but they are moving up and down each week. And like, can you justify what week would you have justified putting Cooper Kupp as a 99? That's my question. At what point has he done enough to be a 99?
At what point last season?
Yes.
After he had the greatest season of a receiver.
I think after he caught the game winner in the Super Bowl, or maybe before that, actually.
Okay.
Maybe I need to think.
I think towards
he
the end of the regular
so
season.
much last season. Honestly, there's like at some point between in like the final cluster of weeks of the season before playoffs is probably the earliest you can say.
Okay.
But I feel like he's just done so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like this past season, it's genuine. Like that's why I put the word disrespectful in the title. I think it's disrespectful to him. I think after the season he had, the fact that you don't at least consider it, like, it feels to me like
they probably considered it.
Yeah, I think they consider it.
I don't know. EA is pretty ignorant. I don't know if they are like.
Okay. I have two things. One, EA and other corporations, conglomerations, they want to be conservative with these. This is why Honey Badger is still the number 1 ranked safety. They don't want to tell Honey Badger you suck, right? They want to keep Honey Badger where he is because they know Honey Badger has done things. That is a justifiable thing. He has several years of elite play. Do I think he's deserved the last couple All-Pros? No. But he has had a long career and he's established Pro Bowl superstar, right? And you have other guys around the league, like Myles Garrett has 4 straight seasons with 10 sacks. The TJ Watt one is actually a head scratcher, but they try to be conservative, which means if a rookie, say Jamar Chase, has a huge year, they're only going to give him an 87. I think that's BS, but Madden can say, we want to be conservative with this. If a player's elite, we don't want to like knock them from elite because it took a lot to get there, and it's a status symbol. If you're Madden, you guys.
I don't think that they need to, though. They need to knock Deante down. I think Deante has 99 is perfectly fine. I don't think knocking him down is a problem that they should consider.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like they don't want to elevate anybody else to that level when they've done it before too. Like I'm pretty sure Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams were in the 99 club at the same time.
Were, yeah.
Okay.
Like they don't need to knock people down to bring people up.
That's fair.
To me though, the Cooper Kupp thing wasn't the most disrespectful thing. It was
Jamar Chase.
No, you just said it. TJ Watt.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, TJ Watt was bad.
I think Max Crosby takes the cake because, like, I don't know. It's
Myles Garrett came out and said, if I'm a 99, TJ Watt must be 100.
Yeah.
Like when you have players saying
players
of Myles Garrett's caliber, like that says something. Like wow, like they view him as the best. You should probably have him as the highest rated.
That's valid.
Players always say a lot about Madden ratings, though, and it's kind of funny when you think about it.
And a lot of them play Madden too.
That's true.
Okay.
It's like realistically too, there's no difference between playing with like a 98 player and a 90.
No one plays Madden more than Derwin James, because I remember he tore his ACL, and so he spent like the entire recovery program, whatever, like length of time that he was out for playing Madden so much that they did like a show with him.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna make a joke about how he's always injured, so he would be playing Madden a lot.
Okay, in fairness,
I don't think it's really Madden... a joke. Like he is hurt a lot.
No, he
is hurt a lot. So
okay, hear me. I'm not opposed to Derwin James playing Madden because guess what? He's still around football. Like there have been players like Josh Johnson, the guy that's played on every team in the NFL practically 10 times, and other players have said, "Hey, I would play Madden with these guys to learn like." Rosters.
You know what I feel?
I think that's a cool thing that Madden has a feather in its cap.
You know what I think is not a cool thing though, and I think they need to fix this is how they have like when they update the real world rosters, they take out injured players for offline stuff. Like
that's annoying.
Like I remember when Cooper Kupp tore his ACL, I just wanted to play like a quick game of what's the term? Play now exhibition. I want to do an exhibition game with the Rams, and I couldn't use Cooper Kupp because he was hurt in real life. Like what?
Yeah, that's annoying.
That's like I had to do like you have to go into the roster and change the roster to like I forget what it's called, like the best available or like best.
Can you
reorder it
on the depth chart once the game starts, or not on there either?
He's on the depth chart. He's just hurt. You have to like reorder the depth chart
yeah.
like out of the game, like in the menu, like before you load it in. So it's like I don't know.
I have one final point with Madden ratings. They aren't like pulled out of a hat. It's a combination of other ratings. It's like doing like draft grades for someone. You're not going to be a perfect draft prospect if you're a 9 out of 10 in something. You're going to be a 99 out of 100, something like that. I remember the draft grades I did at Primetime Sports Talk. Everything was out of we had 0 to 5, 0 to 10, and 0 to 15s for a bunch of attributes. So unless you're like maxing everything out, you're not going to be a 100 overall prospect.
As
so
far as
like
I know,
of even 90 pluses.
As far as I know, it's a group of people that come up with everybody's ratings, and then all of those ratings combined lead to your overall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
and this is why some players get overrated year after year. This is why like Lamar Jackson is going to be higher rated than a lot of quarterbacks he probably shouldn't be ahead of, because the athleticism is there. Like if you move him to running back, he would be an 88 running back, at least last year. He would have been an 88 overall running back. Why? Athleticism scores high, speed, agility, quickness, or acceleration, break tackle, things like that aren't integral to being a quarterback, but are integral to being a NFL player. So you're going to be boosted up. I think like fast players generally are a little overrated. Marquise Brown, Tyreek Hill, guys like that are a little overrated because their athleticism is ridiculous. And you can't give them like a 90 overall. Like let's say in a perfect world, Tyreek Hill would be a 90 overall. That's obviously wrong, but let's say perfect world is 90 overall. Well, you're not going to take down his speed because you're not going to take down his speed. So you have to compensate for that and move him down in other spots. So either you make him play like an 88 with really good speed, or you just give him a 92, which is a 90 with really good speed.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It does,
Yep.
yeah.
Also, I got a quick question for you before we reset. Over under for Lamar Jackson. The last 3 seasons, how many passing yards per game does he have to wide receivers? Over under 125 per game.
over.
I feel like it's a trick question, so I'm going to go under.
It's under 110.7.
Okay. All right. I feel like he would have done a little bit more than that, but
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a little bit more than that as well. But I guess you have some running back production. You have obviously Mark Andrews. And you have other tight ends that have been in there, like Hayden Hurst in 2019. Nick Boyle has a couple catches here or there. I don't know. Mike Garofalo tweeted that out or retweeted that. That was weird. Mike Giardi, sorry. Interesting. Okay. So let's keep it rolling. We had some breaking news maybe 2 hours before we started recording. Jack had to change the title. He wanted Henry to change the thumbnail. Shout out to Henry. The 49ers.
I don't think it was made in the beginning, but whatever.
Oh, well, whatever. The 49ers have given Jimmy Garoppolo and his agents permission to seek a trade. So he's healthy. He's back in the facility. He's healthy. And now he's on the trade block. So I think this is perhaps bigger news for Trey Lance than Jimmy Garoppolo. And let me explain. So if you were the Niners and you wanted to start Jimmy Garoppolo week 1, I don't think you do this. I don't think you're like, yeah, go ahead, trade that. Maybe you have that conversation internally, but I don't think you say that out to the world. And I think this is say, hey, Trey Lance, this is your job. Pretty clearly, this is your job, barring injury. Jimmy Garoppolo, thank you for the NFC title games. Thank you for going to the Super Bowl. Thank you for all the wins. But happy trails in Cleveland or Detroit, or pick your favorite city at that point.
Seattle.
Seattle's an interesting one. Chicago. So
yeah,
Josh,
I was thinking about it. I was like, Cleveland to me is the best spot, but since then also came out that Cleveland is not going to pursue him apparently.
Oh, do you know who they want to pursue?
Who
Cam Newton.
Oh my God!
No.
Actually,
No.
there's no way.
That is an actual
Oh
report. That is
my
real
Lord.
life, ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing?
The Cleveland Browns have been connected to, you guessed it, Cam Newton, and all the Browns fans that said Lamar's MVP didn't matter. You're about to sign an MVP quarterback, apparently. So, congratulations.
Some former MVP quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know where
Lord.
else. Jimmy, I guess Seattle, maybe. I just don't know. Do they want him? Do the Panthers just add on more quarterbacks, maybe, and get Jimmy Garoppolo?
I don't think Carolina makes sense. I think
Carolina has Baker.
It's tough to
so-
find spots. Have I told you guys about the Kaepernick Flacco debate?
I don't think you have.
Okay, so there was a video. John Boyce made a video, like 6 or 7 years ago, like peak Kaepernick time, that he posed the question: would the Ravens prefer to have Colin Kaepernick as their starting quarterback? And the stats say perhaps, but at the same time, you're not going to bring Kaepernick in to replace Flacco. If like it was like a like for like, if you could trade and swap the two, yeah, I think you do that. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo is in that situation of, if you're Detroit, would if you're the Lions, would you accept Jared Goff or Jimmy Garoppolo? Like if that was a trade option, would you make that trade?
Yes, but my reasoning is kind of different than the play on the field. You get rid of Jared Goff's contract.
That's a valid point.
Yeah, the
and then
contract is pretty big.
You'll most likely still be in the top 5. Jimmy Garoppolo's, I think, is a better quarterback too. That's also why I'd do it. But you get that contract off the books, and you're able to draft a quarterback and spend some more money to build, get pieces around him too.
Right. If you are Atlanta, would a like for like trade, pretend that you had Jimmy Garoppolo in your building the entire time, would you rather have Jimmy Garoppolo or Marcus Mariota?
I think Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, but they're not going to do that because Mariota has worked with Arthur Smith before and has been there the last 6 months or so.
It's also the same thing too. It's like you're kind of in a way tanking a little bit. Maybe you're looking for a quarterback of the future, and like does Jimmy Garoppolo give you 4+ more wins? No, you're still going to be a bottom team. But at least you sign Mariota. At least give him the chance at this point.
Yeah, I think the Mariota one could work out. The Falcons are going to be bad, but they might be a bit more competitive than actually that awful. I'm really excited for this NFL season. I think this is one of the tighter packs of 32 that we've had.
Yeah.
Some years, like the Jags last year, were bad.
It's just because so many teams like improved. Like obviously there's still like a significant gap between teams like the Jaguars versus teams that are more like middle of the pack. Like,
oh, you mean the Bills, right? The team the Jaguars beat 9-6.
That's true.
The Jets beat the Bengals, ladies and gentlemen.
Last year was so weird.
Yeah.
But I think we also kind of now we know what to expect going into a 17-game season. So there's a little bit. It's gonna be exciting. Bottom line.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I am super pumped. All right, folks, gun to your head. Where is Jimmy Garoppolo? Who is paying Jimmy Garoppolo's contract week 1? Josh, you go first.
I wanted to say Browns, but like we know that's not it. I kind of think it's either Seattle or he's gonna be the backup on the Niners.
Jack.
I think he should go to Seattle. It's tough to tell if that happens by week 1. But I feel like he should end up a Seahawk.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, are you trading for him 6 weeks before?
It's like you're the Seahawks right now. You might as well go into training camp and see what you have. And I think more likely is maybe they hold on to him going into the season, and maybe a quarterback goes down or a quarterback's not performing, and that team trades for Garoppolo.
Okay. I can't imagine being a Seahawks.
That's such a weird trade possibility though, because like what if San Francisco does decide to start
and Garoppolo? Who would be the backup? Who would be the backup for Lance? Would it be Mullins is off the roster? I don't know who
you could probably like trade one of Seattle's quarterbacks for Garoppolo, but it would be so weird.
Geno, I guess. I mean, Drew Lock's probably there.
Drew Lock for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Nate Sudfeld. Okay. Or Beathard. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I think Beathard's still there, actually. Is he?
Is Josh Rosen still there? The chosen Rosen?
Oh, my God.
I think he's on Atlanta.
9 mistakes made before me.
That's right. They drafted Brock Purdy. Okay, so if Garoppolo, got traded, it would be Trey Lance 1, Nate Sudfeld 2, Brock Purdy 3. Huh.
I don't even know where to begin. It's so wild. I think Seattle should go for him, though. I think Seattle should make the move just because, I don't like their quarterback situation at all. Like, for starters, we don't even know who the starter is going to be between.
It's probably Trey Lance.
I mean Seattle.
It looks like Geno right now.
I think it'll end up being
between Geno and Drew Lock. I think you start Geno, especially because he played for them last season and he had flashes.
Yeah.
So
he had flashes, but he also the end of the Pittsburgh game. Like
I think
I don't
Garoppolo's
think that was his
highs.
fault. I think that was just he moved. Like TJ Watt got a bit of a Mickey Mouse sack because where else is Gino going to roll when he's being pushed up in the pocket? Then TJ Watt.
that's fair. I mean, I think also though, like with Gino, we know what he is, and like
Yeah.
he's a backup. He
For
should be a
sure.
backup quarterback, or he's gonna be a low end starter.
I think
With Drew Lock, I
Garoppolo's
think there was just
highs
some
would
hope
be
he could do
higher than.
I don't know. I would start Gino. Also, hot take: if Russell Wilson doesn't get hurt, the Seahawks make the playoffs.
You mean the Broncos?
No, I mean last year on the Seahawks.
Oh, last year. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Makes sense.
they would have beaten the Saints. They would have beaten the Steelers. That's 9-8. And if Russell Wilson doesn't have that injury and miss time, I think they might beat the Packers. Because remember, Aaron Rodgers stunk in that game because that was his first game back from COVID. They missed the Chiefs game. So my roundabout strategy here is Seattle would have made the playoffs last year, and they would have been a higher seed than San Francisco because they swept San Francisco anyways. So Seattle, I don't think was as bad as people thought they were last year, although they did have some really bad losses. They lost to Chicago at the end of the season. I don't think they lose that game if Russ doesn't get injured mid-season.
I remember we beat them on the Tuesday game, and I was getting into like a whole debate.
That one doesn't change.
I don't think it changes, but I just remember getting into like a whole debate with someone about how like I think it was DJ Dallas who kicked the ball away after there was a pass interference that didn't get called, and my whole thing was like he shouldn't have overreacted. Like I understand you're pissed that there was no PI, but like don't overreact. Because if the referees miss the initial penalty, they'll always catch the reaction if you like kick the ball away or something like that.
This is
I
true.
know this wasn't your point, but was last year just peak NFL football? You had games on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I don't think
There
you're
was,
wrong.
there was a Friday game, I'm pretty sure. Christmas was around then.
I think
you
there was
remember the
2020.
Kamara game on Christmas.
Yeah, like there's just, I think last year had
The Rams play on Christmas this year. That'd be fun to go to.
Bro, we had to watch Baker Mayfield throw 4 interceptions on Christmas.
and they still almost won.
Yeah, that's a good point. If Baker only throws 3, they probably win that game. Oh man, you guys are watching.
Go ahead.
Okay, you guys are watching episode 80 of the Sports Desk, the Jimmy Graham episode, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember somebody on the
Bolden?
Jarvis Landry wore 80, I think, or was it 81?
He wore 80.
Okay,
Okay.
Bolden wore 81. I don't know why I was thinking he wore 80.
Well, we got the Jarvis Landry episode then.
Yes. Well, other than didn't he wear 14? He wore 14 with Miami.
Yeah, he wore 80.
Browns episode then. I don't know.
Is he wearing 14 with the Saints now?
I forget.
I think he's going back to his college number.
Oh, remember when Mark Ingram wore 14? That was really weird. And when Sony Michel was wearing
Sony Michel almost wore 14. I think one of the Rams running backs is actually wearing.
I don't mind 14.
I don't think it was
as
a running
number.
back. I think it was Jacoby Durant that's wearing 13 or 14. I think.
I think.
I forget.
Do you guys feel the same way that like some numbers just look weird on certain players?
Yes.
Like I know Sky Moore wore 24 in college, but a receiver wearing 24 in the NFL is a little weird. I don't think Robert Jackson should be allowed to breathe oxygen again after wearing 17 on the NFL field for playing cornerback. But I think then I think Kyle Hamilton wearing 14 is fine.
It took me so long, and I don't think I am used to it still. Jalen Ramsey wearing 5.
See, I think that's cool. I think the single digits are always cool to some degree.
I think single digits themselves are fine, but just like going from 20 to 5 is like kind of a weird change.
Wasn't Melvin Ingram wear again? That looked weird.
20. Okay, Melvin Ingram. No, edges should not be allowed to 24.
Yes, that was weird.
But like I'm cool with like Bateman's gonna wear. I don't really like Bateman wearing 7. I wish he was stuck with 12 or wore 0. Pick either or. Don't wear 7.
Can we bring back? Would you guys be okay with allowing people to wear number 0 in the league?
Yes.
I think double 0.
I think it'd be fine.
Cool.
Ooh, 00 is cool for offensive centers. Centers only.
Centers only.
Receiver, running back 0, 1 0.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham Jr. Somebody said on Twitter, I forget, that OBJ should, if he re-signs with the Rams, he should wear 0.
I like it.
That'd be
Like
kind of
Adam
cool.
Ottavino, just it's an O.
Yeah, exactly. He would like totally embrace that.
I think Bateman should wear 0 because 7 has been cursed for the Baltimore Ravens. Kyle Bowler wore 7. It's cursed. So don't wear 7 because you're going to be a bust. Wear 0 and everything's going to be okay. And I'll get a dope Bateman jersey. I need to get a Minnesota Bateman jersey because I'm afraid that he's going to change his number again. But Minnesota Bateman.
I just want to leave it out there before we move on. There were also some suggestions that I saw on Twitter that the number 1 is cursed for the Rams because
you bought the jersey.
No, Deshaun Jackson wore it last season.
Super Bowl champion Deshaun Jackson.
I think someone wore it before him too. I forget who it was.
You.
Not me. No, I'm thinking like a different player.
Why is
it was Sam Sloman. It was Sam Sloman who wore number 1, and I was not happy with how he played. And then now Allen Robinson's wearing it. So, but I would like to point out I wore the number 1 jersey during the Super Bowl and we won. So
okay, trivia question before we move on: who has the highest field goal percentage over the last 3 seasons? Minimum of 20 attempts. Incorrect. He's 4th.
Ooh,
field goal attempts or field goal success?
Field goal percentage.
Butker.
No, he's below 90%.
Greg Zuerlein? He had a bad year.
Not even close.
I don't think
previous two he was good.
Greg Zuerlein has really fallen off. It sucks to see. I don't want to say
think kickers. That's
I didn't think it was McPherson. Was it McPherson?
Nope, McPherson's under 90%.
Oh, let me get the bias out of the way. It's not Matt Gay,
Who's
is it?
the Raiders kicker now? I know he led the league.
Not Carlson.
Is he still active in the league?
Yes,
today?
he's still active. He got a bag recently.
Is it Koo?
Yes, Younghoe Koo is correct.
Oh my goodness.
It's Koo 1.
I had a feeling because like as soon as he left the Chargers, he just went nuts. Like it was ridiculous.
If memory serves, it's Koo 1. Boswell's up over 92%. Nick Folk is up over 91%. Tucker's at 91%. He had the weird Buffalo game in the playoffs that he missed too. That really hurts him. But Justin Tucker does make 97% of his extra points, so no one else is in that range. No one. There's like 3. Oh, it's Graham Gano. Graham Gano's up over 92% as well. So there's 3 kickers in the NFL that have 90% field goals, 95% extra points the last 3 years. Koo, Gano, Tucker. Cool, because Harrison Butker can't make extra points. Anyways, let's get into some jerseys. We have 2 special throwbacks.
I need to find the images really quick. First of all, though, so you can go ahead and explain what's going on with these.
When I woke up this morning, I watched a pretty dope video featuring Lawrence Taylor, the LT, and a certain guy that has big quads named Saquon Barkley. Very cool video. Nice threads. I did not appreciate Blake Martinez yelling, "Yeah!" halfway through, which was actually peak comedy. I did pee my pants laughing at that point. It was the dumbest, 5. He's like, "Yeah!" It's almost like it matches the vibes that Russell Wilson had. Was it not Pony Up? Let's ride. Let's ride. It's like, no.
Mr. Unlimited.
No. It was so cursed. Like, we need that as like a sound effect. Yeah. Okay. I need to find this because it was actually like peak.
Okay. Let's look at the
awful NFL player.
Let's look at the New York Giants' new throwback uniforms that they are bringing back this season. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
These helmets are solid, honestly. I think the Giants wear this shade of blue all the time. Go ahead, Josh.
I like jerseys too. I mean, I'd never buy a Giants jersey, but if I were going to, this would be the one.
Yeah, like this is like you can actually tell a difference between this being the throwback versus this normal home jersey. I also always enjoy when they like do the Giants text for throwbacks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are you guys ready to hear this?
I am ready.
Okay. I need to get to the section that he says it. It's like a 55-second. Oh, I can find it on the uSTADIUM app. Make sure you download that, by the way. Engage in takes. I put almost $60 worth of points into takes today. So yeah, make sure you download the uSTADIUM app. If you say, "Hey, Splash," I will send you free points. I'll send you 10,000 free points if you tag me. Wish me a happy uSTADIUM
points in. There's no games today. What are you putting points in? There's no games.
I am putting points in Venezuelan baseball, or Venezuelan basketball, not even baseball, the NPB, Japanese baseball, Mexican baseball, Asian basketball, like the Asian Cup, Thai basketball, Filipino basketball, and various others.
If you're into those sports,
I'm not even into
those.
those. I'm just trying to steal
I
points.
don't even
from
think
Jay-Z
you have
Cup.
to be into those. I think you're just trying to like
Steal points from Jay-Z Cups.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That's the motive there is pretty obvious. I'm not
once you
gonna lie.
join,
You're
you'll
gonna get into the
understand.
Venezuelan baseball crowd though, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear this clip.
He told me today that he wasn't didn't even like know the teams. I'm like, bro, it's on Bovada. You can look at Bovada and look and say, oh look, they're favored like minus 200. Okay, that's what I'm doing. It's not like I'm picking games and picking them at random. Like I'm picking the favorites in these games. It's nothing difficult. Okay, come on, scroll. We've had a pretty healthy app today, which is good. The face of 2.3 turnovers per game. Okay, here we go. Let me find it. Because this is actually cringe. Okay, here we go. Oh man, and I got to show you the face he makes afterwards. Did you guys hear that?
I mean, he's pumped up.
Sounded more like then yeah.
This is the face of a man who's mid.
They have the perfect noise for a linebacker, though.
That's wild.
Bro, if Ray Lewis did a hype video and he made that sound, I would immediately turn the game off. I would immediately turn the game off if Ray Lewis did that.
Tells you the current state of the Giants.
That's true too, bro.
The uniforms, though, what do we think?
Banger.
I think they're up there for best uniforms of football.
Double thumbs up.
In football. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they're up there. I think I
With
like
the
the
helmet.
helmets.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like the
the
helmets. I just it always irks me like that they're not the same shade. But it's like I think I can move past it because I dealt with the Rams doing it. I can deal with the Giants doing it. So, but it looks nice. Exactly.
I need to cut that and post that. You know how we can do like put videos. I hate myself. Okay, moving on. Another team in the NFC South another team in the NFC that's been irrelevant for the last few years. They are also releasing new jerseys, new threads, new. We have the Carolina Panthers.
That's clean. Yeah, that's very clean.
That is fantastic.
That's how you do a blackout jersey.
I am such a fan of the decision to do a black helmet. I think that was perfect for them. I think that should honestly be like their number one helmet. I love the fact that the NFL is letting teams do this again.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
So they also, if they did like a blue jersey, it doesn't look as good. Going all black looks amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I think every team should have some teams. I guess it just doesn't make sense, but I think a lot of teams would benefit from having an all black alternate, or at least an all black. Like the Ravens black jerseys are very nice. My favorite Ravens games are when you wear all black on a Sunday night football game. I guess there's some teams with like really bad blacks.
I think it just depends on the team and like can their colors mesh well with black.
Like okay,
too. I don't think you can wear these jerseys. They're like night jerseys. I don't think they're gonna look great during the day.
I agree.
But at night, they would look amazing.
Thursday night football when I'm watching Marcus Mariota and Sam Darnold. This is gonna be the only good thing about that football game.
I mean, if you have the one defenses on fantasy too, that'd be pretty good.
That's true, but that might be the one that Sam Darnold wins to spite you. Did you know that Sam Darnold started 3-1, and when he played with Christian McCaffrey, they were 3-1? Yeah, no, duh. They were playing the Jets, Jameis Winston, and Charlotte and Houston. Like my mom could beat those teams.
Didn't they start 3-0 too?
Yeah, they started 3-0.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of my mom. Josh, for the uninitiated, my mom on her iPad, it's logged in under my name. My my name isn't. Hit the wrong button. My purple is purple. I can't talk.
He can't talk today. English
icon is purple, not light blue.
Okay. So I think we agree on thumbs up on both of those new
Yes.
uniforms.
Also, since Josh C on the app, actually not you, Josh, but
Yeah,
49ers fan Josh reminded me, the 49ers do not have a center, and they think it's okay to not have a center. They are trusting a guy that has played 400 snaps, but hasn't played in like 5 years.
I'm not necessarily sure because, like, I think there was a tweet actually. Austin was sharing me with this earlier today that the 49ers apparently have signed a former first-round pick.
Oh,
no idea who it is.
Yeah, okay. It could be Sebastian Janikowski.
It could be anyone.
Yeah, it could be anyone.
Options.
Oh, okay.
Could be a center.
I used to write for this company. I'm not going to say anything about them because they're rude. But I used to write for this company, and they would tell me, hey, if you're doing a breaking news piece, make it super vague. Try to be kind of clickbaity. So if, say, the Ravens, for example, signed Kevin White or traded for N'Keal Harry, you would write the Ravens trade or sign former first-round pick, even though that is totally overstating what Kevin White or what N'Keal Harry are.
See, I think that's dumb.
I think that is clickbait. Is it correct? Yes, but it would be like saying, I don't know.
This is like saying when the Raiders traded for Deante earlier. It's like, when was Deante taken?
Second round.
So like this is like saying the Raiders trade for a former second-round pick.
Yeah. Raiders
like without name dropping Deante at all. It's pretty much like,
what are you doing? What is the point of that? Just say it. Like, if you're gonna say, oh, the 49ers signed a former first-round pick, I'm going to assume the player stinks because you're not telling me who the player's name is. Now, if it's
so to be fair, the person that tweeted this, they said, who was it? It was at Graham SFN on Twitter. They said that they are confirming directly with the player before breaking who it is.
Like, that's fine. I don't know. I feel like that's a little clickbaity. Are they signing Josh Rosen?
Oh, never mind. It was defensive tackle Robert. I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
Kimdichie?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. That is it.
So you're right. It's a bust.
Yeah. Might as well have said Ole Miss standout or former top high school prospect.
Imagine if like 2 years ago, Bucks fans heard we signed a former.
To be fair, like
the difference between that. And
I do appreciate that. Like,
and it's like the Bucks trade for disgruntled former Arizona Wildcat.
Twice retired.
Yes. At the time, once retired.
Yeah.
Retired to avoid playing with the Lions.
Yeah, exactly. Or to be fair, though, I do respect that. Like, they're trying not to like interfere with like the players' like contract stuff or whatever.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm talking about like, imagine if we made a push on the app and we said, I don't know, Aaron Judge was a first-round pick, right? Like a comp pick. Yes.
Say for the sake of this, that he is.
Okay. Aaron Judge was a first-round pick. Imagine if you had a push to MLB, Yankees sign former first-round pick to big deal. What?
Yeah,
it's
swipe to see what former first-round pick got a bag from the Yankees today. Why would you click on that? Especially if it's Aaron Judge. Why would you click on that? Why would Aaron Judge with a bunch of exclamation points? I think would be a better job. I think Frankie would legitimately fire you if you said Yankees sign or Yankees.
Extend. I was the one that made the
click on it.
I was the one that made the push for the Deante trade. If I would have just put Raiders trade for wide receiver in all caps, I would have been out.
Yeah, you would have gotten punted into next month. Okay, anyways, we actually have a second segment of this or that because the Mitch Trubisky one was not ideal. And as it happens, both of these are Steelers related. So what I'm going to do is, Josh and Jack, you tell me what you think of Mr. Deante Johnson while I pull up my top 100 players and get some names from the list.
Josh, the floor is yours. You're the one that suggested him.
Yeah, I think he's very underrated. And the fact that the Steelers are hesitant to give him a deal is just a little mind-blowing to me. Like, I get you have Chase Claypool and you have I forget who their tight end is, but he looked good last year.
Chase
like-
dancing on for a first down celebration with the game on the line. Claypool.
Yeah.
That was cringe.
To me, like
I'll give you
Deante
that.
Johnson is just extremely underrated, and it's just like my guy Mitch Trubisky. He deserves some more respect.
And I think he gets that respect. But I don't know if he's, as Stephon Diggs would say, spicy.
See, I think
But Deante-
he's a little 2 years ago, not so much this year. He had problems with drops, and he seemed to fix it this year in the playoffs. I think he had 2 drops though, but like to me, he's an all-around great receiver. You can put him in the slot, you can put him outside, and he's going to excel.
So this past season, Deante Johnson had 107 receptions, 1,161 yards, 8 touchdowns. His longest catch was 50 yards.
And you have to think like with a quarterback who just couldn't throw deep too.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to think about his current quarterback situation too. So
I think Mitch is a improvement over Big Ben last year at least.
I
won't
think
be
there's
a
maybe, like I said earlier, there's 3/4 of like, sure, that's an improvement, but
Yeah.
I don't know if Mitch is doing the same things Ben was doing in the fourth quarter last year.
we're gonna have to just
But
wait.
it won't
and
be a
see.
dink and dunk. Like even in the fourth quarter, a lot of it was either just throw it up and pray or dink and dunk.
Sure, but it worked. Just gonna say that. All right, are we prepared?
Let's go.
Okay. Former AFC North wide receiver Marquise Brown. Would you take him over one Deante Johnson?
Nope.
No,
Okay. Brandon Cooks or Deante Johnson?
Ooh, that's a
I
good-
would take Deante only because of the injury history that Brandon Cooks has. I think Cooks is solid. He can be insane when necessary, but I think he got hurt for concussions like twice when he was on the Rams. And I think that was like a pretty big factor in why they ended up trading him.
Yeah, I agree. I think their production's around the same, but Deante Johnson's just healthy, and Cooks rarely is.
So you would take Johnson.
Yeah,
Okay. Michael Pittman, Deante Johnson.
Deante Johnson.
That's tricky. I think I would take Johnson for now, but I think Pittman has a pretty high ceiling.
All right. Hunter Renfro or Deante Johnson?
Ooh. Deante by a little bit.
Deante.
Okay. Mike Williams, Deante Johnson.
Mike Williams.
I'm not high on Mike Williams like other people. I think he's a very boom or bust type of guy. I think
I think he's really reliable. He's been pretty reliable for Justin Herbert as of late.
How
he has
many
those
targets
games
did
where it's
he
like
have?
3
Yeah.
touchdowns, like 200 yards. I think it's a game where it's like 1 catch. For
I don't
5
think he always needs the touchdowns, though. I think Mike is the guy that you can rely on if you need to complete like a 3rd and long. I think you can target Mike Williams pretty easily.
That's fair. For me, it's close, but I'd rather have Deante Johnson.
Isn't Mike Williams also like huge?
Yes.
So he can make a ton of those type of catches.
Darnell Mooney or Deante Johnson?
Mooney.
Deante Johnson. That's disrespect on
Ooh.
Deante Johnson's name.
Jalen Waddle, Deante Johnson.
Deante.
In 2 years, or even 1 year, Jalen Waddle maybe, but right now, Deante.
Devontae Smith.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper.
Isn't Amari? Why am I forgetting what team he's on now?
He's on the Browns.
The Browns. Oh,
Just with the question at
God.
quarterback.
Yeah, the question at quarterback is there.
I think
but
somehow that's a bigger question than the Steelers quarterback
With-
situation.
with
which-
Deshaun, I think
Weird.
I would take
Yes, I agree.
Amari
But
Cooper.
if Cam Newton's their quarterback,
But if Cam Newton's their quarterback, I'm not taking any of those guys.
Okay.
yeah, I'd much rather have Deante.
Tyler Lockett or Deante Johnson?
Tyler Lockett. You
It's like
passed
the
him in the
same
red
thing,
zone.
though.
He's catching the ball.
With quarterback play, he's always had Russ, and that undoubtedly makes.
This
you
is
better.
fair, but it's like
Okay.
I would take Deante by a little bit.
Okay. CeeDee
Remember.
Lamb or Deante Johnson?
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
Okay. T. Higgins.
T.
Deante.
Ooh, okay. Calvin Ridley.
Deante. Ridley's solid. I feel like he just
Deante,
has too
yeah.
much off the field stuff.
Scary Terry.
Again, I think it comes down to quarterbacks. I don't like Carson Wentz, but I would probably take. I don't know. I think I would take Terry.
I think I would take Terry McLaurin too.
Okay. DJ Moore.
Deante.
Chris Godwin.
Oh boy.
Is it
I think I would
skill
take
or
Godwin. I
production
feel
this
like.
year?
Right now. I guess Godwin's hurt, but if Godwin
Isn't he going to be healthy?
If
though?
Godwin's fully
Is he
healthy,
coming back, or-
first Godwin, I think there's same thing. It's like skill wise, they're close to each other. But
Okay.
obviously, I'm taking Tom Brady over
Sure.
Mitch Trubisky.
Michael Thomas.
Deante.
That's tough because I like Michael Thomas too. I think Michael Thomas.
I think Michael Thomas has fallen off. I know there's the injury. I agree with that whole stuff, but it's like I don't know if he can get back to that level he used to be at.
Yeah, this is like the last year for me where it's like, okay, we'll see what he can do. Like he's still on that level, but this year you can't do it.
I think he still can be on that level. He just kind of has to show it. Otherwise, I don't really think we can ever put him at that level again.
Okay. Shout out to my mom for this one, Mr. Decaf Metcalf.
Decaf Metcalf.
I'll tell you
I think
the
DK.
background in a minute.
Yeah, I would take Metcalf. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So my mom was watching TV earlier, and there was a commercial, and it was Nestle, like the drink mix, I guess, and it had DK Metcalf in it. And she came out, "Hey, do you know if Decaf Metcalf is in a commercial?" And my soul ascended. If I had died and gone to heaven, I would have been happy. That was one of the funniest things. Love you, Mom. Mike Evans or Deante Johnson?
Ooh, Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is like a top 10 in the league.
Keenan Allen or Deante Johnson?
I think Keenan Allen's also
Keenan by a
Keenan Allen.
nose.
AJ Brown or Deante Johnson?
AJ Brown.
Yeah,
Deebo Samuel or Deante Johnson?
Debo.
Splash, you're killing me here.
DeAndre Hopkins or Deante Johnson?
DeAndre. Despite the injuries / suspension, whatever it is, I still think when healthy, DeAndre Hopkins is like top 3 wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, I agree. I think the steroids too, just because of the injury. I'm not worried about that, putting his production down. I think he took them.
He's claiming too that like it was one of those like he unknowingly took something that was banned,
which
so
I kind of believe. I don't think there's like I
don't have any reason to disagree with that. So it's like,
okay, I'm gonna assume for the sake of assuming that these 6 guys, neither of you would take Deante Johnson over them. Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah,
I'm taking them all.
Okay, so that means, by my loose count, Josh, you have Deante around wide receiver 15, and Jack has him around wide receiver 20.
I think 15. I got you can.
I think
there.
20 is fair. 20.
He's my wide receiver 19.
Okay, so you and I are around the same boat.
Yeah. I had I had him over Lamb, over Lockett, over Mooney and Williams in that list. I actually listed it backwards from my own list, so there's that. Marquise Brown, wide receiver 30, apparently. All right.
Should we talk some ball of base?
I think we should. The American League once again beat the National League in the mid-season event that doesn't matter. The event that does matter at the end of the season, with all due respect to Jack's Mickey Mouse ring, that does count for this. 3 World Series in a row, but 9 All-Star games in a row for the American League. Josh, as the resident American League fan, how do you feel about it?
I was happy to see Stanton get his glory. I don't know how he hasn't been All-Star since 2017. I know he's been injured, but he's been amazing.
There wasn't a game in 2020, in fairness.
That's also true. But he should be an All-Star every year. He's up there as one of the greats in the game currently. And that picture of that ball getting literally crushed by him hitting it is insane. And
Okay.
I think that there's no better All-Star game and All-Star weekend than the MLB. The Home Run Derby is, you said it.
I could feel the hype
I
around.
said he was going to make his name for himself on the spaces, and he came out and he raked. He showed why he's going to be the star he is. A young A-Rod, maybe? A-Rod, as we know, starting Seattle.
I have a comparison to Acuna.
Yeah, that's also a fair one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sucks for him that he had 20 more home runs than Soto, and he lost. I know we were in the chat, you, me, and Greg were debating if you'd rather go first and second, and maybe that's the reason you'd rather go second. I think you should go first. It was just all around great
I
couple
think
days for the MLB.
we can have a little debate here. I think going first puts you in a bad position because you can way overperform, like a Julio.
That's very fair.
He hit 32 home runs in the first round, needed 25. Hit 31 in the second round, needed 26. So, yes, I think there's a chance you like overexert yourself, and like I understand you're chasing for points, but I made the comparison to college overtime, and I don't think any team in their right mind would go for or would take offense first. And I think this is why in the NFL, if you have the chance to win the game first, you go win the game. Well, in college and in the home run derby, you can't win it first. You can blow it. You can score 0. You can score a really low number in the home run derby, but you can never win it first. Well, you can win it going second, obviously. And I think it's more valuable to know what you have to do rather than going in and like, what if he hit 70 and Alonso goes and beats him by +1? Or what if he hits a bunch like 45 and Alonso comes back and quits? Or it's like 2, right? So I think I don't know. I don't really, I understand where you're coming from and I understand where Greg's coming from, but historically the players that have gone second are superior, have like won matches. They have won more matches than the first people to go in all but 2 derbies since they changed the rules. Now, caveat there that better home run hitters generally are ranked higher, so generally they get the advantage. But I mean, I think like Juan Soto was the 8 seed the one year and beat Ohtani, so like that'll balance out over time. But I don't know. I would rather go second and say, hey, I have to hit X +1 rather than, because I still think the logic of having a number in your head the entire time is still true if you go first, because you have to think, how many home runs do I think my competitor can hit? 24, 25? Do I have to go higher than that? Because I don't think you're going into that like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to put up as many as I can. We're all good. Boom. Boom. No, I think you have a number in your head. Like, if you're Acuna, right, you might have to score 25 to have a shot against Alonso. You might have to score 30 to have a shot against Alonso. You put up 19, which is still respectable. It's more than Kyle Schwarber had. As many as Kyle Schwarber had, and he had extra time.
See, my thing, I don't think J-Rod was tired. I don't think that's what it was. If he has those extra 30 seconds, he didn't hit the home run 400, I think it's 40 feet. He gets those 30 seconds, he wins. And I think, like, you look at Kyle Schwarber, and he saw, I only have to get 13. I can easily do that. And he kind of put the number a little too low. And on the opposite side, you look at Pete Alonso, he was kind of trying to force it. He knew he had to get a big number at 31, and he's trying to force it. And that doesn't work. As we all know, if you swing for the fences, there's a good chance you're missing the ball by a good amount, especially different with an MLB pitcher on the mound. But I think the difference between college is, in college, I would rather go second because I know if they score a touchdown, I have that extra down on 4th down to go for it.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, this format is 10 times better. I think there's some flaws in this format, but it's 10 times better than the old format of 10 outs.
Yeah, I hated the 10 outs. I would much rather have the timed format that you get whatever they can do, because I just don't like the 10 outs. There used to be 7 outs, 5 out. Ew. It's come a long way. There were derbies, they weren't televised. There were derbies in the late 80s. There would be 10 total home runs hit. 10.
Not great. Yeah, I don't like doing an out.
I think
if
like we had
time
10 outs today, more home runs would still be hit. It's how the game's played today. But just like, it's exciting the way it is.
Well, even back in the day, they were like 3 out rounds. You'd get 3 swings and you're done. Yeah. But that just, I think that's stupid. And I think there were guys in that era that if you throw a Dave Kingman, or you throw I'm going a little bit older, but Dave Kingman or Reggie Jackson, you throw them in, I think they're hitting a bunch of home runs.
Yeah. One thing I don't like is the tournament format part of it.
Yes,
Like,
I agree.
Someone like Corey Seager kind of got screwed, even though he hit 26 home runs. He's not advancing because instead you have Albert Pujols advancing, who hit less home runs in a minute more time.
Mhm.
Like you're kind of that's one thing. Obviously, a tournament just more exciting, and that's why it is what it is.
Yeah,
But
I
you can't
prefer
tell me-
the NBA 3-point contest.
Yeah. There's
No.
nothing more fun than the home run derby, though. It's
Mhm.
better than the All-Star game, honestly.
Yes. Like I didn't watch the All-Star game. I have no interest in watching
Yeah.
this. I heard the over/under was 7.5. It's like
It was what was it,
No.
a 5-point game?
3-2.
Yeah. I mean, it was no runs to score after the fourth inning.
Listen,
That,
The
to me,
Listen.
mic'd up thing, though, was
let me just
the
say
Nationals
I
didn't
am.
score after the first inning. I think that's an issue.
Let me just say I still feel like I took the dub there because real and legitimate World Series champion Clayton Kershaw got the start.
You're welcome, by the way.
Um,
Also, did you guys see Blooper? His post with the
Yeah, that
Dodgers
was funny.
Series? That was good.
It took me a second to figure it out, but that was good.
That was good.
I
Well,
also
I saw it with the uSTADIUM caption. They're like, Blooper is so funny. Look at the first letters or look at the capitalized letters. I don't know. I love me some Blooper. Is it a hot take to say he is the best mascot that doesn't have a baseball for a head?
no, I don't think it's a hot take.
Okay.
okay.
I think Mr. Met is like clearly number one because he.
You mean in like all
in,
sports?
in
or just
baseball, just
Okay.
baseball. Obviously,
No need to mention gritty. All right.
obviously, Jackson DeVille and Sir Purr are number one and number two.
And
Sir
Jackson
Purr
Pollock.
is only up there because of the whole like, who was it? Robbie Anderson or somebody that was like,
Yeah.
who's
Also
the
Poe.
bear?
The bear?
Or is that what he said?
Yeah, he said it was a bear.
Yeah, he said Sir Purr was a bear or something
Quick-
weird like that.
Quick props to Alec Manoa. I mean, he was mic'd up. It was funny. He was
As good as
I don't know.
Liam
John Smoltz saw him throw a slider, which hit Jeff McNeil, and then got a little mad at Smoltz, but he was funny on the mound. He pitched great. I think
Okay.
having the guys mic'd up, everyone who was mic'd up last night made a great play.
Here's something else I think that needs to
Was
be
it as good as
discussed.
Liam Hendricks though?
It was just like because they were talking the way he was like talking, like he was telling them what pitch he's gonna throw. He was taking
okay.
advice from Smoltz. It was really good. I mean, Sten
Hall of
was
Famer.
saying in the outfield how he sat in the bleachers during the games, and then next inning hits a home run right there. I'm pretty sure Buxton was mic'd up. Hendricks was funny. Julio Rodriguez was funny. That was very well done. Last
Did you
night.
know
Okay.
that Liam Hendricks is the only player in MLB history named Liam?
I thought
Really?
he was the only Australian player, honestly.
Yeah, the only player in MLB history named Liam.
Those are really low odds.
Because like I can
So-
think of like Liam Eichenberg on the Dolphins. Like I can think of Liams in other sports. But like there's only one Liam that plays baseball. He's one of the unique. This was a foolish baseball quiz, and it was players that have a unique first name and a unique last name. So like the last names make sense. Like Hendricks without the C, or like Brusdar Gratterall. Like how many people are named Gratterall, right? But it was Liam was like out there, and like some of them like Johnny Peralta. Peralta obviously is not anything new, but Johnny with the H before the O was different. Because I think it was like his mom on his birth certificate, like wanted an English sounding name, but didn't know how to spell Johnny. Something like that.
I want to know
Okay.
Jazz is the first.
So before we move on,
You mean
I think this
Kaz
is like
Chisenholmes?
Yep.
I think this is a debate that we need to have settled here.
Okay.
Because there has been a hot conversation as to whether or not the actual All-Star Game uniforms should be worn in the All-Star Game.
They should
what
be
do we
worn in the
think?
Derby, not during the game.
I like the jerseys last night, especially the white jerseys in the National League. I thought they looked really cool. I know people did not like them, but I thought the white ones at least were amazing.
I like them being worn during the game. I will say it helps that the ones this year were exponentially better than the ones last year. I think that goes without saying.
Mhm. I agree.
They should have done a black for the AL. It was kind of like a weird. It was like in between.
It was like an
black
off
and
gray.
gray.
Like
Yeah,
the
They should
Diamondbacks
black it would've looked
gray.
great. It was
Like the
it was
Diamondbacks
definitely better
were
than last year,
goofy,
but like those-
Gold, Vegas Golden Knights gray.
I mean, if I wanted to pay $400 for a jersey and the Yankees were in the NL, I'd get a Yankees All-Star jersey.
I don't know. I liked
why.
them this year though because it was like just black and gold or white and gold versions of like the actual uniform. I think it's close enough. I don't have a problem with it.
I still don't get the reason for complaining about it. Like they wear it once a year.
That's true.
You're most likely not buying it. You don't have
And,
to
like,
buy
I
it,
do-
of course you to.
I
See,
do
I-
understand like that for a one-off stuff team or like the MLB will like to experiment a little bit more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the
I know.
NBA did yellow jerseys. That was ugly.
Utah Jazz.
No, I mean like the NBA, like the All-Star jerseys
know.
for like LeBron's team were like.
I know. I'm
weird.
just
Yeah.
I'm just taking a shot at the Utah Jazz.
So like to me, it's like the MLB doesn't do.
What do you think of the Cavs jerseys? The new ones.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, I think they're fine. I don't know. I don't think they're that terrible.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they're like when they're sometimes simple stuff is better. So
Like I think if Sexton gets re-signed, I think I want to buy a Sexton one. Could buy a Mobley, Evan, obviously, and Jared Allen would be cool. Garland would be cool. I have 2 Cavs jerseys. One is the number 4, first round pick. Not Evan Mobley though. Wrong USC first round pick by the Cavs. Really sad there. And of course, a throwback LeBron.
Okay.
Ooh, Josh, if you had the money to have any jersey you want, how large would your collection be?
It would be very large. It'd be a lot of baseball jerseys. I mean, I already have a lot of baseball jerseys. I have luckily, fortunately for me, my mom's dad was a bat boy for the Yankees, so I have a bat boy Yankees jersey.
Nice.
I have a Sandy Koufax jersey that's a little too big for me.
Very cool.
Bo Jackson jersey.
Royals?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I would love to get a Brewers jersey with the old logo.
Ooh, okay.
I have the hat, just I don't know a player I'd get for a
Like
jersey.
a Robin Yount?
Yeah, I have an Expos jersey.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, all my jerseys are that or college basketball.
Gotcha. Okay. So, question for both of you. If money was not a thing, how many team jerseys would you get out of the 124 Big Four North American sports? So essentially, this turns into: would you buy a Red Sox jersey?
This would turn into how many jerseys have all my favorite teams ever had? Because I would definitely get all those.
No, not how many.
Does it have to be current?
How many team jerseys?
Oh, how many teams? Okay.
Yeah,
I would buy a Red Sox jersey, but I'd burn it.
Okay.
If
what player would you buy then?
Who do I want to burn the most? I guess is the question.
I guess so. Like Pedroia?
David Ortiz.
Okay, that's a fair option. Jack.
Whose jersey would I want to burn the most?
Okay, sure. That's the question now. Whose jersey would you want to burn the most?
Probably Debo. The most.
I might change the answer. I might go with Chase Headley on the Yankees. I might want to burn that jersey the most.
That's funny. See, I don't know. So you guys would, Josh, would you buy a lot of team jerseys, or would you have like 6?
You guys are probably get hockey jerseys. I'd get a lot of team jerseys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it'd be cool to have like a collection.
I would get the whole reverse retro collection from last season.
Yes, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Or not last season, the year before.
I obviously hate the Steelers, hate the Bengals, hate the Warriors, hate all these teams. I can find someone that I can buy the jersey to complete the collection. I'm not going to wear it. I'm not going to wear an Antonio Brown jersey or a Josh Gordon Browns jersey or a Josh Gordon Patriots jersey. But I would think about buying a Patriots.
It's one of those things where like I would own it, and then like if I was talking about like a Patriots Browns game, for example, I would just like hang the jerseys up here or something like that. Like it'd be a cool background object.
Like I'm more than happy to wear my Weddle jersey because he's a former Raven. Or frick frack.
I know Eric Weddle has done so many things in his career, but I will always and forever associate him with couch to Super Bowl champion in 5 weeks.
This is true.
That was the most legendary.
I feel like a Hanley Ramirez jersey would be cool for the Red Sox. So I was gonna keep one.
That'd be cool. Who would I buy for the Steelers? I like Antonio Brown. I think having a collection of Antonio Brown jerseys would be cool. I don't like him as a Steeler, but I like Antonio Brown, the dude. Josh Gordon Browns, definitely. Josh Gordon Patriots. Antonio Brown Patriots would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Bengals. I don't know who I would get if Bengals was. Jesse Bates if he forces his way out. That'd be funny. Warriors. Oh, I don't want to think. I have no idea who I'd get for the Warriors. That Monte Ellis. Like I'd have to get a throwback.
Cool. I mean, Steph's cool.
I don't like Steph though. He
Never
robbed me of 3 championships.
That's fair.
3.
Very fair. What about Steven Jackson?
Ooh, okay. Jason Richardson. Yep, that's final answer. Jason Richardson. Let's see. I don't hate anyone in hockey enough to like not buy that. Like I would wear the Avalanche reverse retros. Like I'd be okay with that.
The
Astros would
Nordiques,
be tough
if you will.
Astros would be an old jersey.
Ooh, what Met would I get? Doc Gooden.
Darryl Strawberry.
See, at that point, they weren't in the same division as the Braves.
I would get a Met who's on the Yankees.
If I had to get
Ooh.
jersey,
Get a Kelly Johnson. Did Kelly Johnson play for the entire AL East? Or was it
I
the
think
NL
so,
East?
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Darryl Strawberry is a cool one.
Uh-huh.
Dave Cohn.
I was a fan of Carlos Beltran, Jose Reyes,
Oh, I guess Carlos Beltran from my Astros jersey.
or Royals as well.
Yeah.
see any Astros jersey is one I would get just to burn.
Are there any players that played with the Astros and Dodgers? I guess Greinke did.
Yeah, I guarantee did. Was he on the Astros in 17?
He was on the Astros in 19. He was on Arizona in 17. Arizona was good that year, right? And Greinke was not Cy Young caliber, but he was good that year.
Yeah, I remember he was on. He's been all over the place.
Okay, my mom said Tom Seaver, famous Cincinnati Red, Tom Seaver. Okay, here's a question: would you buy a jersey, like an obscure jersey that like of a legend that played for a different team, but he like happened to play for another team? So like Tom Seaver on the Reds, for example. Obviously, he's famous as a Met, or like Griffey.
Wayne Gretzky on the
on the White
Blues.
Sox. That's a good one. Or on the Rangers.
I don't
I
think the
think it's
Rangers
kinda
is as
cool,
obscure as the Blues.
That's true.
He
Like,
played 18 games.
I like
for
the
St.
gimmick
Louis.
jerseys. I like the like Antonio Brown Raiders jersey, or a Carmelo Anthony Hawks jersey, Rasheed Wallace Hawks jersey. He actually did play a game with them.
Dwight Howard Nets jersey.
Ooh, good one. Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
I used to have a list of all the jerseys I would buy. Like if I was just dropped like 124 jerseys from the sky, and it hit me in the face. I know I had a list of what I would buy. The hockey one was hard because I don't watch a ton of hockey, and players change teams a lot. Johnny Hockey is not in Calgary anymore.
He is in Columbus now. And speaking of the Flames, by the way, apparently Matthew Tkachuk is probably going to be on his way out. Or at least I think he informed the team he didn't want to sign a long-term deal. I don't know what's going to happen there, but he's more than... I think the whole situation, I look at it from the outside, and I think he's out, but we'll have to wait and see.
For sure. All right, you are watching episode 80 of the Sports Desk. We have 2 more topics we're going to do. First of all, we're going to talk about one player that his team didn't charter a flight for him from his home city to Los Angeles. Of course, we am talking about Paul Blackburn of the Oakland A's, not the other guy, not the other more famous player. I do appreciate
A home run derby winner, by the way.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's slow down. Paul Blackburn, his division rival Houston Astros, said, "Hey, we noticed the A's are cheap and didn't charter you a flight, so we're gonna come pick you up. We're gonna come and you can come visit our All-Stars." If you are Paul Blackburn, is that like, do you want to be around the Astros?
Yeah, I think they're all friendly. It's different, dude. I'd rather take a private jet and be with someone I'm not very close with than take a regular plane and
that's fair.
have to spend another 5 hours in there.
If it was like just you by yourself, I would probably do a private jet.
How many MLB players could like buy a private jet and use it?
Not that many.
Okay.
Maybe a good amount. Maybe.
Now, one guy that
Mookie
might
Betts,
be,
Mike Trout. Those are like the only ones I can think of.
well, one guy that might be on that list soon is Juan Soto of the Nationals. The Nationals are like, screw you, we're not going to charter a flight from DC to Los Angeles. So he had to fly commercial from DCA to LAX.
All right, I have one. We're acting like he's like sitting like in the middle and like coach. He's sitting first class. 2.
No, he's dead middle seat between like
next to the crying baby and the snoring
next
guy.
to the crying baby.
But
Next
Scott
to-
Boras also like we're acting like Scott Boras acting like he's not some like giant agent who can afford a private jet. Like you could have flown him out. That would have been a problem.
I think
And
it's genuinely like
I think it's more funny than realistic.
it's funny.
It's disrespectful, but it's also when you're the Nationals at a certain point, it's like, I mean,
It's terrible because it's like when you. I understand that like he apparently wants out, but he still plays for your team. You should still treat him like he is a member of your team while he's playing for the team. It's not like he's holding out and refusing to play.
That's fair.
Okay, if the Nationals benched Soto for the last 70 games, would that hurt his value or increase his value?
I don't think it changes his value.
Okay.
Agree.
I think he'll be traded in the next 2 weeks. For me, it's tough to believe that one of these contenders that are going to go after.
There's already 5 teams apparently that are rumored to be in on him. So
Yankees, Mets, Giants, Dodgers, Cardinals.
What about White Sox? I heard White Sox were preparing an offer.
White Sox on too.
Okay.
But it's hard for me to believe that a team who has a window and they know we're going to trade prospects away isn't willing to trade those prospects right now and get one more playoff push with this guy in his close to his prime. Why? If I'm the Yankees, if I'm the Mets, I'm the Dodgers, the White Sox, not some White Sox even, you're making a playoff push. Why would trade a little more now and get him for the extra playoff push? To me, it just doesn't make sense not to do it. And if you're the Nationals, that's something positive for you because you can get more out of it that way.
I don't know if I agree with you fully there. I agree.
I'm really curious to see what these teams are offering.
That's true. I think if you're the Nationals, why don't you wait? Because right now the Cubs aren't in, the Angels aren't in, there's the Rangers aren't in. There are other teams that have really good prospect pools, and like if you're, I think the Rangers makes perfect sense because you have 2 Boris clients in both Simeon and Seager that just got a bag, $500 million combined for the 2 of them. And the Rangers have 6 guys in the top 100 prospects. So if you're the Nationals, why do you want Gleyber Torres? Why do you want Peterson? Why do you want Tommy Edman? I don't think the Cardinals would trade him, but why would you want a player now when you can get a bunch of prospects?
But I don't like the Yankees. I don't think they give up Gleyber. I think also everyone's a Scott Boras client at this point. So that's
a good point. Yeah, but the guy in the space is like getting on my nerves because like, well, Boras is going to force his way to the Mets. Boras has clients everywhere, bro. He's not a Mets only guy.
I just struggle to see the Rangers spend. I know like everyone's like they did it with A-Rod, but they just gave Corey Seager 10 years. He just gave Marcus Semien, I think, 7 years. It was about like $500-600 million combined. You're not trading. I don't think they're giving a player $400-500 million.
I think they should. If I'm the owner of the Rangers, I guess every team should. The Braves should. I don't. The tough thing with Soto. Do you think there's any team that's having like an internal discussion on how much better Soto makes your team, or is Soto like just?
I think all of the teams that are preparing offers reportedly definitely have had that discussion at least once.
Okay.
I mean, it's different. If you're the Yankees or you're the Mets, Soto pushes you over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the
Dodgers.
I mean, the Dodgers push over the edge. Like if you're the,
I think I said it too last week.
Soto makes no difference.
On the last show, I said that I didn't think Dodgers should do it because they have such a deep prospect pool. But like you said,
I don't
the Nationals.
I don't think the prospect pool is deep, but I don't think it ranks. It's not as good as the Mets are yet.
They just traded 2 guys to Washington last year with it.
Yeah, the Yankees have.
I personally just think that like I'm not saying it's number 1 in the league, but I'm saying it's deep enough. But it's like you also want to trade some MLB ready guys. That's what Washington is going to want in this deal. Who are you going to trade?
I mean, Nick and I came up with some offers, and like 2 of those for the Dodgers. For the Dodgers, it's Gavin Lux, Bobby Miller is their 2nd prospect, Miguel Vargas is their 5th, Ryan Pepiot, who's their 6th. For Soto,
I would hate trading away.
That's gonna be the big thing
Gavin
too.
Lux.
What team is willing to take on Patrick Corbin's contract? And that's where I believe the Mets will get him, because I think Steve Cohen's willing to do it. I don't think the Yankees. I hope the Yankees don't get Soto, because I honestly would rather have Judge, and then I think Volpe is a special prospect. I think he is the future at short for the Yankees. I would rather have those 2 plus Dominguez. Who knows what he's going to be, but Who knows what process is going to be? I'd rather have those guys than for
Yeah,
Soto.
if you're not going to give them the same amount of money. You're going to give Soto more, but I would imagine you'd rather have Judge and prospects,
Yeah.
rather than Soto and no prospects.
I mean, I think Soto's an amazing player. He's yet to hit his prime. And
And he's already going crazy. So like,
I'm also now in the pot where it's like the Mets fans are getting hyped up. So I hope they keep getting hyped up because then they can only get hurt.
Oh, I hate Mets fans so much.
And that's mean. That's mean. But like, it's just like
look, they probably were cheering when Acuna tore his ACL last year.
They probably were. I just also don't get the White Sox thing. I don't know what I just don't see them getting.
I have such a mixed feeling when I see when I see like a rival player get hurt. Like obviously it sucks. I'm not like rooting for people to get hurt.
Like, I'm not like, pumping my fist when Joe Burrow gets eaten alive by Washington.
I'm not.
I know Mets fans were. Mets fans are a different kind of.
But it's like you also have the thought. Like remember when Garoppolo tore his ACL in 2018? Like obviously I felt bad for him. I'm like I don't want to see that ever happen. But I'm like also thinking in the back of my mind, okay, the 49ers are kind of screwed this year.
Mm-hmm.
So like.
Real quick, I'll say too, for non-baseball fans, Juan Soto is like the equivalent. Him at this point in his career is like the equivalent to like Kevin Durant when he was on Oklahoma City. Like he's young, he is already one of the best players in the league, and he's only gonna get better. I mean, in baseball, we know it takes more than one player, as the Angels have shown. But if he goes to the Yankees, he goes to the Mets, he goes to the Dodgers, even the Cardinals, they will be very, very good, and they will be favorites for.
If he goes to the Dodgers, and they win, I will never hear the end of the whole LA buys their championships narrative, which is BS.
It's also like
that's the Mickey Mouse narrative.
People see the 440 million and they're like, "Wow, how can you ever turn that down?" It was over 15 years. It was 29 million. It made him the 20th highest paid player when he should be probably first.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you should be up there. And second of all, if you had that's a question for you.
If that happens, Splash would hate everything.
No,
okay. I would. I think Soto's better. I mean, Acuna's on a much more friendly deal.
Yes, that's the thing. It doesn't matter if you told me that Soto would be guaranteed top 3 player for the next 10 years. That is $400 million, $500 million. That Acuna, you're just not paying Acuna to do that. The next 5 years, 6 years, Acuna versus Soto, it genuinely does not matter if Soto is a million times better, because Acuna is one of the best players in baseball. He's in a slump right now. He's one of the best players in baseball. He was a deserving all-star, and he's in a slump right now. He can't slug. It is bizarre. His expected slugging is really good, but his actual slugging is like 100 points below his career normal. But he's gonna have a huge second half. Stay tuned. But I wouldn't trade Acuna for Soto. I think Acuna is the most valuable asset in baseball because of the contract. Because Soto, you got to pay $500 million very soon, right? Trout, he's on a mega deal. Betts on a mega deal. All of the pitchers on mega deals. You know, Julio Rodriguez not as good as Acuna, right? Tatis mega deal. Lindor mega deal. So if you are a player that Acuna, if we did this or that with Ronald Acuna, players that you would take over Acuna are already getting paid $350 million.
Yeah.
Every single one of them, unless they're on a short, like a Scherzer for 3 years, $150 million, whatever. Every player on Acuna's level is getting paid way more than Acuna. So that's Acuna is the most untradeable player in Major League Baseball. He is, I think, if he was on the open market, if the Braves and Nationals like swapped records and the Braves were like, oh, we're going to trade Acuna is getting a whole lot more than Soto.
Yeah, I feel bad for Nationals fans at this point. Bryce Harper, gone. I mean, you won the World Series afterwards, so Bryce Harper, gone. Max Scherzer, gone. Trey Turner, gone. Soto, about to be gone. Like, that's rough. It's a team had that many good players. It's kind of like the Pirates. It's building up like to the Pirates now, where they had Cole, they had Holmes, Tyone. They had a lot of, if you built
Musgrove.
Yeah, I'm missing some. If you built a team of the players on the Cubs, on the Pirates, you would think they won 2 or 3 World Series titles. Yeah. Instead, no, that's right.
Hey, look, Brian Hayes, O'Neal Cruz, just watch.
It's also, I know people are very like pro prospects, but like I saw a post today on the Yankee account about the Yankees prospects 10 years ago, and it was like Glaber was one. Who Tim LeCastro's two. Has done nothing. None of the guys. All I'm saying is all the guys on the list besides Glaber are not in the MLB.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, hey, I made a list of. I think you saw the list, right? I did the top 10 prospects in baseball from 10 years ago. Matt Moore is number one on the list, over Trout, over Bryce Harper, over Machado, over Trevor Bauer, over all these guys that are Cy Young winners. So like prospects matter, and I'm going to give a unique perspective as a Braves fan. The Braves have had 3 like top 50 players, top 50 across all of Major League Baseball. 3 top 50 prospects that have played center field primarily in the last 5 years. Christian Pache, Drew Waters, Michael Harris. You find the guy that you think is going to work, and then you trade the other ones. Because guess what? Christian Pache is not going to stick in left field, not going to stick in right field. You don't want to move Harris to right field or left field. And Drew Waters, you're kind of wasting what he is if you put him in left field or right field. You already have Acuna for the next 8 years, and you pick one of them, they're going to be your center fielder, and the other one you trade and get assets. Guess what? They happened, as of right now, picked the right one. And they picked Harris, who has been, I'm just going to say it, a top 50 player in baseball since he got called up. Like, he has just been a revolution. He has been a revelation for all things Atlanta Braves baseball. Christian Pache just got sent down to AAA, and Drew Waters hasn't been up yet. So the Braves traded their 2 top prospects. They got a top 40 pick in this year's draft that they used on some guy, and they traded for Matt Olson with Christian Pache. Yeah. You can't just, oh, it's nice. It's lovely to have prospects. The Braves had the number 1 prospect pool when Acuna was there, Albies, Soroka, they had so many, Anderson, they had so many talented pieces. But at some point, you have to trade them because you're not going to be able to have 17 shortstops. Like Braden Shoemake. If Dansby comes back, I'm trading Shoemake. I'm trading Shoemake and getting pitchers. I'm getting, like, I can't think of an example like right now, but if you signed a contract extension with Dansby right now, I would be more than happy to say, Braden Shoemake, go to Cincinnati. Get Luis Castillo, or go to Oakland, get Frankie Montas, or go to Pittsburgh and get, I don't like any of their starters. Go somewhere and get something, because he's not going to play over Dansby. He's obviously not going to play over Riley. And he's not going to play over Ozzie. He's not going to play over Olsen. But you can always use more pitching, or maybe go to Pittsburgh and go for David Bednar. So I think with these prospects, yeah, it's great to have them, but you also have to think of who's going to be on your major league roster in 2 or 3 years, right? Who's in your future, and who is just on your team because you have 4 minor league affiliates. There's a difference, right? There's a difference between, like, I'll use the Braves as an example, Pache, Waters, and Harris. One of them is going to be your everyday center fielder for the next 10 years, and the other 2 are not. And you have to find, before everyone else in baseball finds out, you have to find the 2 that aren't, trade them as if they are. Yeah, we're still thinking about Harris. We're still thinking about Pache. Just can't quite hit yet. But he's going to be our one day. Oh, hey, Oakland, you have a shiny new toy? Oh, he's only 28. Oh, he can replace a lot of Freddie Freeman's production. Oh, he's an Atlanta native? Oh, yeah. Oh, Pache, we're so sorry. World Series champion, we're so sorry. And you're yes. You're doing, like, you're so excited for that deal. And the same thing with the Waters, although at that point you knew Michael Harris was the future at that point. So
I'll make one last quick point. We can move on. Like I said on the app, the Orioles have the best offer for him. And Adley Rutschman could be the face of that offer. And I was amazed. I think we were saying, why would you ever trade Adley for Soto? One, I love Adley. I don't know how good he's going to be. I'm high on him. And 2, he's already older than Soto by 2 years.
Imagine how good Juan Soto is going to be when he's Adley's age.
Like, I get it, he's a top prospect in baseball, but he's a prospect in Soto. You always take proven players. That's in my opinion.
Like, I think there's, if it was, okay, so Soto's career OPS plus is 160. OPS plus. If it was like a 130, okay, don't trade Adley. That's fine. But you might have the best hitter since 2000. There is a legitimate shot Juan Soto becomes a better hitter than Mike Trout is right now. Yeah. I'm not saying he will. There's a chance, and it's a pretty solid chance. The way he gets on base, the power, stuff like that. He is doing things that Mike Trout never had a season with a 220 OPS plus like Soto did, shortened season, but Soto did that. Actually did that. Last year, I don't think Trout's doing the second half of the year that Soto did. I think Soto He's won the Derby, and I think he's going to have a huge second half of the season. I think if I would rattle off like a team of they're going to overachieve in the second half or overachieve where they are now, I would go Acuna, Soto in the outfield. Give me Buxton's a weird one because Buxton was actually all three of those guys were all-stars anyways.
Breaking news. Not really major breaking news. It's just something that happened. Apparently, the ESPYs are going on right now.
Oh.
And Cooper Kupp won the best championship performance.
I think that's fair.
I forget who he was nominated against, but...
Mm-hmm. And one guy I think is going to kind of bust in the second half is Paul Goldschmidt. He's obviously a great player, but I think he's playing a little bit over his head right now.
I disagree, but we can get into that into another time.
Okay, look, I am going to put my faith in expected stats, and if he happens to start hitting the ball better, that's fine. But you look at the top, I'm going to look at the top 10 guys in WOBA. I'll share my screen here, and I'm going to give you guys a little insight on how my brain works when I look at data. So let me get the expected stats. So let me give you a brief explainer with the expected stats. So this is, I'm sure Josh, you're familiar with this website. This is Baseball Savant, and this takes the quality of contact plus walks and strikeouts. So quality of contact means if you hit that ball 100 times, how many times is it going to be a hit, essentially? So every at bat that the ball is in play is given an expected batting average between 0 and 100, or 0 and 1. Having if you hit a home run that's 700 feet, it's gonna be a hit no matter where, no matter what angle, what left to right angle, whatever, it's going to be a hit. So Baseball Savant says, okay, if a player is consistently hitting the ball hard, consistently putting the ball in spaces that it should be hits, it's going to be hits more often. So for example, the leader in expected batting average this season is Yordan Alvarez, and I think that makes sense. So a third of the time, Alvarez is getting hit in the expected world. So this doesn't mean that 1/3 of his at-bats are a perfect expected batting average, and 67% of them are not. This is an average of all of his at-bats, including strikeouts, that, hey, sometimes he strikes out. Sometimes he hits a foul pop-up, and there's a 0% chance that it hits. Sometimes he hits a hard liner that's a 720 expected batting average, and it doesn't land because, some generic shortstop makes some ridiculous diving catch that makes you think he's Ozzie Smith. So that's what this number is. And the difference between 306 and 333 is one of the larger ones in the league, actually. And it's top 25 in the league. It's right there with Jock Peterson. So when I sort this list, Christian Pache is actually at the top of this list. When I sort the list, I look at the top few names and I say, these guys are underperforming based on what they're doing with the baseball. And there's a variety of reasons why. Marcell Ozuna is notorious for underperforming besides 2020 when he was right on line with it. So some guys just hit more line drives in to a spot, right? And you can plan for that. So there is some discrepancy across all the Major League Baseball this season. There's a 2% gap in expected WOBA and WOBA. Okay, that's fine, because most of the time they're very close together. But I would expect if Christian Walker, Marcell Ozuna, Corey Seager continue to hit the ball how they're hitting it right now, how they hit it the first half of the season, they would be better in the second half if they just continue to do that. And I think that's fair. Seager coming into the break was super, super hot. Ozuna is notoriously streaky, and Christian Walker is a big-time power threat. And I think you have the same discussion here with slugging. And I'll get to the guys that are on the opposite end of the spectrum momentarily. So guys like Marcell Ozuna, Ronald Acuna, they should have a slugging percentage in the low 500s. Is that elite? No, but it's much better than 407 and 413. JD Davis is up there, Gary Sanchez, Verdugo, Jesse Winker, so Yasmani Grandal. So if you even Shohei Ohtani, so it's not just Braves, right? It's more players that Nelson Cruz is underperforming, Corey Seager is underperforming. So this can tell you if a guy just keeps doing what he's doing, how it's going to work out in the future. And this is things even PFF passing grade, for example. If you continue to have good PFF passing grades, you're going to have good performances. Sometimes the receivers are going to drop the pass. Sometimes they aren't. And the finish to this is, I think Marcell Ozuna is in for a big second half. I think Corey Seager is in for a big second half. I think Ronald Acuna is in for a big second half. Jesse Winker, Gary Sanchez, a lot of these guys, and look, the 380, that's very good. 377, Christian Walker, that's very good. 385, that's very good. Marcell Ozuna, 352 is middle of the pack, but it's much better than 238. And to flip the coin, I think Paul Goldschmidt's going to come down to earth. I'm not saying he's going to end up adding 260. I'm not, because he's not. But I don't think he's going to keep up a 590 slug. I don't think he's going to keep up the second best WOBA in baseball behind Jordan. And even Devers. I think Devers can take a step back. I think Trout maybe, Trout's whatever. Jose Ramirez. I don't think the quality of contact is not there to indicate to me that they will continue to be overperforming the rest of the season. But a guy like Freddie Freeman, I think he's going to take an uptick. I think Juan Soto is going to have a massive second half. Jordan is going to be ridiculous still. Aaron Judge is still up there, 427 expected WOBA. And those are some players I think that are going to be like when August rolls around, early September rolls around, players of the week, Jordan, Judge, Soto, Freddie. And those names make sense, but people don't like it when I say, well, Paul Goldschmidt's overperforming his expected batting ball data. Yes, he is. And so is Arenado. And so is Jose Ramirez. And that's why I cut Jonah Heim a little while ago. Even Xander. This is one reason why perhaps the Red Sox jettisoned Xander. He's had a great season statistically, 360 average, 453 slugging as a shortstop. Those are both great. But maybe you move Trevor Story over there. I don't know. And maybe you just get cheaper everywhere and force someone else to pay Xander Bogaerts who can't defend and is way overperforming his expected batting stats. Okay, there's my rant.
There's our Splash rant for the week.
Yes. Shout out to Splash Rants, by the way. All right. Anything else you guys want to touch on?
I'm gonna keep watching the ESPYs. Apparently, I had no idea that was even on. So,
sounds like a plan. We can move tier this to next week. Madden covers. We're gonna have all the Madden ratings out next week as well, so we can react to quarterbacks and whatnot.
Both quarterbacks should be spicy.
Yeah,
that one's
Lamar Jackson will be overrated, by the way, because I mentioned earlier athleticism. So when he's ahead of Joe Burrow, don't get mad. Just know that's how football works. That's how Madden works. When Lamar has 93 speed's calculated in the quarterback rating.
That's just how it goes.
All right. Well, with that said, thank you guys for watching episode 80 of the Sports Desk. Happy 7th anniversary to me on the uSTADIUM app. Josh, welcome again. Jack, happy to have 77 shows with you now.
Somewhere around that number, yeah.
Something like that.
But we've reached total 80. We still haven't missed a week. We've been kind of all over the place, but it's still
we're turning into the NFL. We had a couple Saturday shows. We had a Friday show.
Tuesday shows for a while.
Yeah. With that said, guys, thank you for watching episode 80. And remember, Super Bowl champion Aaron Donald does in fact train with knives. Oh, and Jack gets to end the broadcast today.
I do get to end this time. I clicked it early, but we're going anyway.
Yeah. Beautiful.